Hello, gamers, and welcome to episode 16 of the Listen Gamer podcast. Today, with me, I have the crazy king himself, Kiv,
Bonjour.
the lovable Lynx, Aaron, and
Hello.
Randy Ryan. So, for the second time now, how are you all?
I'm doing
I'm
good,
feeling-
gamer.
I'm feeling better now that you remember the name of the podcast.
I'm feeling
Aw.
better now that someone might not just disconnect the fucking whole recording.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
right.
listen. Wi-Fi issues are Wi-Fi issues. I can't do anything about that.
I'm so
Well-
glad that wasn't like an hour into the fucking podcast.
Yeah, you could have used an Ethernet cable. So
Oh, even better. Aaron, have you finished your sandwich?
Yeah.
Oh, see, perfect. Now this is take one. It's fine. Nothing happened.
yeah.
Hey.
So in the real take once, Aaron had 7 inches of meat in his mouth. Just thought you guys would know that.
Mhm.
Chicken, not sausage.
Wait, it's chicken now? You got a
It
7
was
inch
chicken anyway.
Before he did say chicken before.
7 inches of chicken all deep in my throat.
Was it chicken sticks or chicken bit?
I'm assuming it was chicken breast.
Yeah.
He is more of a breast man, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No, it's not.
I do like breasts.
I like a bit of thigh action as well.
Oh, not wrong. With
It is
the
one of
breast.
it's one of life's great questions, isn't it? Boobara.
Oh, I was talking about chicken breasts or chicken
I was
thighs.
saying, what are you on about?
we
about
we all know
food?
we all knew where that was going. Don't even fucking play
This is why we just introduced him as Randy Ryan. 'Cause
Exactly.
This is where the conversations go with him.
Hey, listen, right?
We're all
Take
having
one-
an
take-
innocent conversation about chicken, and you decide, oh, tits are ass.
Listen, take one had links full of 7 inches of chicken and Kev talking about edging. So
Take
Wait,
one
no,
had
no, no, no.
nothing to do with
My-
edging. That was before.
no.
So the conversation about edging started in Lynx's stream.
Again, I wasn't there, so you can call me Randy all you want, but that was where the conversation was taken.
But you made
It did not appear in the podcast recording until you just pointed it out.
I brought it back. Everything got brought back. My Wi-Fi drop in. You forgetting the name of the podcast.
There's a momentary glitch in the system.
glitch in the caveman. Right, so it's been what, 2 weeks since our last podcast, so quite a few things have happened, I guess, in the news of gaming and whatnot. The new Call of Duty has had the campaign released and is due to be released tomorrow, which is the 28th of October, I believe.
And
Was
it's
it
not
I
free.
thought it was
And it's not free. Yeah,
apparently.
which sucks because Sony, being the dicks that they are, decided to cockblock us. And to be fair, it doesn't really bother me because, and I think it doesn't bother Lynx either. Well, Lynx doesn't actually play the campaign, which I think he should because it was a good campaign, and I know how he feels about the original COD 2 campaign. But it was fantastic. But as soon as I saw that it was being released like a week early, for some reason I just had the very I just needed every fiber of my soul to play it. I don't know why. I just instantly got hyped for it and was like, I need to fucking buy this.
I'm
So-
currently pre-installing it right now.
So yeah, I downloaded it and I played the campaign, and amongst the bugs and stuff from like obviously the day one bugs with to be fair, like there wasn't that many that I experienced. Apparently it was quite buggy. I had maybe 5 crashes in
I was
total.
about to say, from your tweets, there was a few bugs because I think I saw you tweet a few times about issues.
Yeah, I think twice I maybe said about it, but I did say that it was a fantastic campaign so far. Well, I have
I
played.
do remember reading that.
So essentially, I'll go over the bugs. So pretty much, I was just playing, and then all of a sudden, like the game would freeze, and then a little box would come up and say, "We need to close this. Tell us what you were doing, and then submit an error report." They were the only things that I experienced up until maybe I was 90% through the campaign. There was spoiler alert. By the way, do you guys care about spoilers? I'm not going to go into detail about things. I'm just going to.
I probably won't play the campaign, to be fair.
Right, okay, Lynx. You good?
I don't care.
All right, cool. Right, so spoiler alert for the campaign if you haven't already played this. So there's this mission where you go through the prison and then you have to escape over the wall. So you rappel up the wall and then you got to fight off obviously the enemy troops and whatnot. And you have to wait until like Gaz and Price tell you that we can climb over the wall and whatnot. So with that, like you've already killed these snipers on a roof. You've already killed the ground troops, and there's like more incoming, but it's fine. But I always play the COD story modes on veteran because I prefer to have more of a realistic experience playing it as far as difficulty goes. Enjoy the story. And then if I need to achievement hunt or whatever, I go through on the easiest difficulty so I can just run around and like 360 no scope people because it takes ages for them to kill me. So there was a part in this mission just before you had to rappel down the other side with a rope. And it says, right, we got to go. Get down the rope, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't give you the prompt to go down the rope. And then you have to wait another like 30 seconds to a minute before the game sort of kicks in like a backup feature where they automatically go down the rope themselves, and then that gives you the option to be able to go because it's only you and Price left on the bridge. But with that, there's like these invisible snipers that, like, you know, when they put like invisible bullet shots and stuff like that just going across the map that can ping you and whatnot. It was something like that. Like they were invisible snipers. You couldn't kill them because you couldn't see them. They were just these random sniper bullets. But because it was on veteran, one bullet or at very most two, depending where it hit you, it would kill you. But as soon as you, like in this watchtower, you had to run from the watchtower maybe about 10 steps, 10 to 15 steps to get to the rope. You couldn't get that far because as soon as you sort of ran out, you'd instantly get shot. And if it didn't hit you in the head and instantly kill you, the second shot would have. And it doesn't matter whether you crouch down between the barricades because it's a sniper, it'll penetrate the barricades and kill you anyway. So I was stuck for about an hour or so trying to get past it. And you can call it a skill issue or whatever, but it was just impossible. So I was trying forever to find out how to get past it. And essentially, I managed to get to that point where they said, look, you got to go down the rope. And then for some reason, I just tried proning behind Price's and Gaz's legs. So I was like, they hugging the wall constantly. And as soon as they started jumping off, I put the rest of my smokes down to see if that would mask it. And then they give me the option to, I was crawling with them as they were moving towards the rope. And then as soon as the option came up, I instantly jumped up and pressed X to jump down the rope. And it worked, finally. It was so frustrating because it was just such an easy part of the mission. You just need to run across and just jump down a rope. But something so trivial and game breaking as that was the only thing that really pissed me off about the campaign, because it was something so trivial. Like I can handle like the random crashes and stuff because it's day one. Yeah, they should have been polished and whatnot, but what game doesn't come with crashes these days because they just want to make money, don't they? But that was the only thing that really got to me. But other than that, the story was fucking fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Like it was super cool. The jokes and everything that Soap and Ghost had, it was awesome.
I think I did see as well that when it does release, is it tomorrow it comes out
Yeah.
fully?
Midnight
when it comes out
for
tomorrow, apparently
consoles.
there's a massive update for it. So it could be that they fix like bugs and whatnot in that.
I've completed the game, but after I've completed it, I've seen like 3 or 4 different updates for it. So maybe the campaign stuff has already been updated, unless that's preloading content that's been downloaded. But I'm very tempted to do a 5 a.m. stream. I don't know yet.
Wow.
I might wake up for work ready to see you stream.
Yeah, pretty much. What time do you go to work?
7, half 7-ish.
Nice. Like I want to like. I was gonna say something different then, but I want to sink my teeth into this.
What were you gonna say?
Trust me, it didn't start with T. But
Started with D.
yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, this has been the first Call of Duty in a long time that I've actually been excited for. Like, I don't know what it is.
It incites old lobbies.
Yeah, probably. We're gonna be fucking a load of mums and dads and
That's
whatnot.
what it is. It's
It
the
could be
nostalgia.
that. Nostalgia, yeah. It could be that. But it does look pretty cool though.
It's like when they release a Pokemon. If they announce a new Pokemon game coming and then they go, it's going to the Kanto region, everyone's like, oh my god, I'm a fucking 6-year-old again.
I'd love it if they did that.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Even though you've played through the Kanto region probably 70,000 times in your lifetime between the remakes and just overplaying it as a kid anyway.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
saying that like that's like a problem.
I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying, like, despite how much you've played it, if they released a new game and said it's going to the Kanto region, everyone would be like, "Oh my god!" It could be a
Well-
shit game, but you'd be hyped as fuck for it.
To be
I
honest,
nev-
I'd sooner have one where we can actually visit each region.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to say
that
that
would be
too.
nice.
There's an online fan made game
Yeah,
that's
it's like
really well made
MMO
game.
or something.
Yeah, it's Poke. It's called Poke One.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, it's one called Poke One. So you can start off in Kanto, Johto, or Hoenn, I think.
Oh, I
And
remember
then
that one.
you can unlock the different regions as you go along.
It's kind of like when you unlock the Sevi Islands, isn't it?
Sort of, yeah. So you've got to like do certain things to get the ship to the next region and things like that.
Yeah. Like,
But
to be
it's
fair,
also multiplayer as well, so you can play with friends online with it.
with the remake of it though, I didn't play Diamond and Pearl when it came out, and I didn't play it this time around, but I did play Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That's what got
That
me
was
back into it.
such a good game.
I know. I sunk hours into that, and I played Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald to the death, and I loved them. So for Ruby and Sapphire to come back on, when they remade it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So they have actually done a remake, technically. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah, so I'm saying, so like the original remakes was red and blue, and then they had Fire Red, Leaf Green.
I was
And
going to say,
then-
they've done a lot of remakes.
Yeah,
The
well,
next
they
one-
have, yeah.
The thing that's always stuck with me is I wanted to see a sort of remake, but like without it being a remake, so based on the Kanto region, but a whole different storyline.
Maybe a Gary storyline.
They wouldn't be able to do it as a different storyline though, because you still have the set path of doing the 8 gyms in that order. Like it wouldn't change much.
It depends
It'd be
on how
hard
they
to
do it,
do.
because
Can we play as Gary's sister?
there's different ways that they could change things. Like you could have the Forbidden Forest is like overgrown, so you can't get through there, and you have to like they've built a bridge to Cinnabar Island, for example. So you would have to go that way around, or you get
So, like-
surf earlier and cut later on, and you go.
But
you
it
have
would
to go-
still have to kind of go with how the anime series and whatnot works as well, because they hold true to the games and vice versa. Like
Yeah,
they'd
it just
have
be
to
like
make a
interesting.
fair
In terms of like more so like the side story, because like everything has the 8 gyms and you've got a certain order that you've got to do them in, but like the story with your rival could be slightly different, and like the whole thing with Team Rocket could not be Giovanni, but it could be like Silver, for example, from
Or Pepper Army.
from Silver and Gold was supposed to be Giovanni's son. So it could be a storyline where he's taken over Team Rocket in Kanto and he's now the boss of it, and their headquarters are in different places in different cities. Like they could be in the museum in Pewter Town, for example. Just
It
so
could-
like
it
you,
could be
you could play through the familiarity of Kanto, but with a different storyline, so it's not so predictable as well, though.
So it's like Kanto in the future, essentially, what you're saying.
Yeah. But like you could get to the end of the Elite Four and Red could still be the champion.
This is an old man. He's like the same as Professor
Yeah.
Oak.
It's not much different from Ruby and Sapphire to Olas. It was the same game, just tweaked.
Yeah. That's
'Cause
what,
there
like
was a
I'm
lot
not
of
saying
stuff
like
added to Olas.
I'm not saying completely different, but like the fact that like you have to go to the certain places for Team Rocket to activate, and the whole like Lavender Tower part of the story with your rival and things like that, and meeting Bill and the SSN and like there's all different things that they could do now for that.
It's because that's the Kanto is kind of like an origin story, so you can't
Yeah.
redo an origin story,
Mhm.
which is why you need to carry on from it. So it's a continuation of the origin story, which
Yeah.
is why it would be like set in the future. Maybe
just saying,
30
it's like
years
a
down the
remake.
line where Ash or Red or whatever have had their kid.
That's what I'm
And,
saying.
like,
It's like
They've
it's
seen
like
going through similar
Ash has got to grow
experiences.
older than 10 before he can do that.
This is what
Well,
I mean, where it's set in the future.
tech,
Or his
like,
mum or
technically,
Professor
Red-
Oak had a
He's been like
kid.
20 odd years and he's still 10 years old. What are you on about?
The thing with it being is like red and blue are supposed to not be Ash, but based on Ash. So you could have it where like you could be Blue's kid, who then goes through the story trying to become champion to take it back from his father's rival.
It's kind of like a Cobra Kai fucking esque thing that you got going on now, Ryan.
No, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, you would have like the nostalgia and the familiarity of playing through Kanto, but without playing red and blue, just with updated graphics.
Yeah, no, I get you.
So it's kind of a remake without it being a remake.
It's a loosely remake.
It's yeah.
Sorry.
Come on.
Carry on.
It's just one of those things of like certain things could have changed. Like it's sort of like you said, like a carry on, a continuation of the story. Like you could have different gym leaders in the gyms and have like Misty and Brock as part of the Elite Four now.
Yeah, like Professor Oak has died, and like Gary is like the new professor because he went out and he actually collected all of the Pokemon. That kind of shit.
Well,
Possibly.
Gary did become a professor. Pretty sure.
In the anime,
And yet Ash
maybe?
is still fighting battles.
No, I'm sure he became a professor on Cinnabar Island when he was with Aerodactyl. I'm sure he did.
I can't remember. I know he becomes the 8th gym leader in the Johto region in Gold and Silver, in there. Is that right?
I'm not sure of the lore, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
I just play the game, I enjoy it.
If you play through Gold and Silver, you can go back to Kanto and play through the Kanto region again.
Listener.
But then I think, because obviously Giovanni is like Team Rocket and you defeat him, he leaves the gym, so they need a new gym leader, which I'm pretty sure is Blue. Gary.
Yeah. In putting the air back in Aerodactyl, Gary got to show how much he'd improved in his new as a professor.
Yeah. Well, that'd be quite cool. If you're listening, Pokemon.
Have you seen the 2 new Pokemon that we got showcased recently?
I have not. Oh, I've seen the Streamer Girls one, the chunky electric Pokemon
Volleyball.
thingy. Yeah. Has there been more since then?
We've had one since then. I'm trying to remember how. Was it Copy that we were doing? This is me trying to remember how to do things. So this was Bellybot, for you guys that might not have seen it.
That's actually pretty cute.
So he's got a brand new ability as well called Electromorphos. Or Electromorphosis. So how that works is when he gets hit by an attack, his next electric attack will be even stronger.
Okay.
So kind of like a berserker in a sense, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. It sort of like absorbs part of the energy from it.
I don't know if that's quite how it works. I think it's just a case of it like maybe he's put him to +1 without the +1 stat for his next electric attack. A bit like how charge works.
Yeah.
And this is the internet is blown up about, which is called Brevard.
Yeah.
I've seen him. Super cute.
Which is our new ghost type Pokemon.
Yeah, he looks pretty cool. The only thing I don't understand.
No, he's just pure ghost. Well, as far as we know, he's pure ghost at the moment.
I imagine he evolved into something Ghost Fire by the looks of the candle, but they're doing that a lot with a lot of ghost Pokemon. Is that purple candle?
Yeah, it was on the Litwick line.
The one question I've got for you, Kev. Have you seen the first Pokemon? Is it Bellybop?
Bellybop.
Bellybolt.
Bellybolt.
Belly.
Can you see where his eyes are?
Right, Bellybolt. Right, I'm not sure what I'm looking at because Nick Jr. has come up. Oh wait, the green Pokemon that Ash has just shown, right?
Yeah, the one that I sent in the chat.
Sorry, look, memory, okay? I forgot his name already. So yeah, I see his eyes, obviously.
Which one? Are you on about the big white? Are you on about the big white thing? Because that's not his eyes. His eyes are above his mouth.
I'm so confused what's going on. What's wrong with his eyes?
When I first saw it, the two white bits on the side with like the yellow and black.
Oh my god, I know what
eyeballs.
you
You're on about
mean.
where his mouth? Yeah, I know what you're on about. I just like,
But like
No,
his
like,
his
you know the
actual
yellow
eyes are above
freckle
his
things?
mouth.
yeah.
But like the white bulbous bits on the side of his head, I originally thought were his eyes.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
They're not. His eyes are the two yellow bits above his mouth.
So does that mean
Yeah.
he's got 4 eyes then?
So it's in the Pokédex entry for it. Because its actual eyes are adorably small and round, so when it tries to be intimidating, it puts its eye-like bumps to good use.
Mm.
So
That's why I
What?
thought it was quite a cool thing, and I was wondering if Kev would have noticed it straight away or not.
Well, I just thought they were freckles. I didn't think that. I think they look kind of cute, you know?
It looks like such a cuter Pokemon when you realize that's his eyes.
hang on.
He
Bellibolt
does.
expands and contracts its elastic body to generate electricity in an organ that looks like a belly button.
Mate, if your belly button looks like that, you got problems.
That's actually adorable. I might have to try and make that.
Its actual
Viable.
eyes are adorably small and round, so when it tries to be intimidating, it puts the eye-like bumps to good use. So those eye-like bumps that you say, they're actually his ears?
Yeah.
Or are they just that? Are they just bumps?
I think
The huge amount of electricity generated this way is then discharged from the two bumps on either side of its head that resemble eyeballs.
Right, okay. So they're kind of like a lightning rod
The
kind of thing.
little ears, I guess, in a way.
They're not... It's difficult to train Bellibolt to initiate a battle without it being attacked first. After the sun sets, you can hear strange noises coming from Bellibolt's habitat. The noise is not Bellibolt's cries, but a sound emitting from their stomachs. It's known. It is known that the sound signals that they are hungry. Mate, that just sounds like me.
Yeah, that's just
Like when the sun sets, when the sun rises. If my stomach, if you hear a noise coming from me, usually it's my stomach. But no, it's cute though.
it is
Like,
very, very cute.
Like I'm looking at it when it's like this, and it looks kind of cute, but it looks like it's not going to attack first.
In other words, it's going to be really slow.
Well, it could be, or it might just refuse to attack.
No, because that would come down to ability.
It's not that it'll refuse to, but the whole point of it is it's stronger if it gets hit first.
Yeah, so it'll have naturally slow speed anyway.
Yeah.
And it's probably pretty tanky.
I don't know. Depends if we get an evolution for it.
Possibly.
Because it could be a
eventually,
bit like
yeah.
some of the other ones we've got. TV, please mute.
Yeah, like
It's 3'11". It's the same height as you, Ryan.
so funny.
The fact that it's called an Ellie frog as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of cute.
tunneling me.
Yeah. He's literally tunneling me. Oh, God. I love Elle. She's brilliant. So let's have a look. So what other Pokemon haven't we talked?
I think
trying
we
to think
talked
of what
about
that.
all of them other than the like possibilities.
Have we done this like that
I've
one?
definitely covered all of the other.
Cetitan or
So
Oh my
Titan,
God,
yeah, that was one of
Titan.
the first ones we talked about.
dude, Clorf looks amazing.
Yeah, Cloth looks fantastic. That's the one that I asked you what type and you thought it was. You said water.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's pure rock type.
Mate, he looks sick.
Looks
How
like
old
an,
the-
He
it looks
looks
like
like an
Grammy's
old.
granddad.
He looks
Yeah.
like an old man. I can literally
Back in
hear.
my day,
I can literally
you
hear him
killers.
saying, "Get off my beach."
get off my beaches, bitches. Dude, I can't wait to see. Like, I showed you Wiglet's potential
Yes.
evolution, didn't I?
I
Yeah.
really don't.
Wig trio.
Wigtree, yeah. So it looks kind of cool, if I'm honest, because it does kind of fit the ghostly kind of vibes that they're throwing off with all the Pokemon that they're showing us.
I really just don't see it being ribbed. That's my issue with it.
Ribbed for her pleasure. The
Mm.
new Pokemon Wiglet.
Just something about that feels a little bit off.
If there's a female gym leader with that as her main, I will be disappointed in Pokemon.
I won't be disappointed. So it's a garden eel Pokemon. Again, that's 3/11. And the ability is gooey and rattled.
We have both of those abilities already.
What do they do?
So rattled, I'm pretty sure heightens your speed if you get hit with a crit. Let me just double check it. And gooey is when you get attacked. Oh, gooey might be the speed thing. Whenever you attack, your speed gets lowered by 1. Fairly sure on that. Rattled is dark, ghost, and bug type. Put its speed stat up, sorry. But yeah, gooey is on Goodra, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah, contact with Pokemon will see a speed stat. So they're both to do with lowering speed.
So it said, though it may closely resemble Diglett, it's a completely different Pokemon. It's a different species. It pokes a part of its body out of the sand to feed in the ocean. Still unclear what the rest of its body, hidden in the sand, is like or how long it may be. It's got an extra 3 inches underneath.
I can't wait for all the fan art.
Oh, there is probably already fan art.
Yeah.
In fact, I know there's already fan art because one of them popped up on Twitter the other day.
I love
nice.
like the old pictures of like what Diglett looks like underneath, and it's just that super hench body underneath with just a little Diglett head poking through.
Yeah. Whereas it 3
reminds me a
Diglets
little
like
bit
cuddling
of,
each other.
It reminds me a little bit of like Earthworm Jim though.
So what's
But
this?
no,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've gone. I say there's like 2 more pictures that aren't of a specific Pokemon. It's just possibilities.
Yeah.
Other than that,
You and Lynx are planning on streaming this as a duo, isn't it?
I believe so.
Are you doing it as just like a casual playthrough, or
I don't know. I don't know what Lynx has got planned for that.
Mr. Aronson.
He's
Hello,
Aaron?
AFK right now. Like we're just
I'm
waffling on.
Not
There
there
he
yet.
is. We woke him up.
found more chicken?
But yeah,
I was just looking back on some stuff.
I'm assuming we're just doing a casual playthrough.
Probably yes.
It depends what it's like because it's multiplayer. It's the first time we've had multiplayer in a story-based program, so
Yeah.
I imagine we'll probably get up to other bits and bobs, depending on.
Well, are we doing the whole multiplayer system?
Well, I assume that was going to be part of it.
Well, I
But
didn't
then
know
we'd
if
have
we
to
were going
buy
to do the multiplayer like system of it, or are we just going to go through our own playthrough and whatnot. But
I don't know. We haven't really discussed how this is going to work yet.
Well, it's not really time. Well, I
It's
would have
not, it's
said
a month
next
away.
year. No, not next year. Fucking
Next year?
week.
You what?
Sorry.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
imagine we'll
probably next week.
because we'll have more information by then as well as in terms of what we can do.
When's the release date again?
Next week.
It's about a month away. 28
Yes.
days, 27
So
days, something like that.
It's a day after my birthday, I think.
27 then.
18th, isn't it? That's where I get it from Amazon. I'm sure it is.
Sure.
I'm not sure.
Let me
Not
go
yet
Twitter.
dispatch. 2 seconds.
Gold or
Yeah,
Twitter.
so I've ordered it on the 9th of September and it says arriving on the 18th of November. Release date Friday, 18th of November. 28th of November is...
Okay, so it doesn't overlap with my Sonic Frontiers. That's nice. That's all I wanted to know.
The 28th of November is World of Warcraft.
Fuck World of Warcraft.
Yo, I get to play as a dragon, and as a Welshman, I'm happy about that.
You know,
Okay, I'll let you have it.
Welshman, right?
Sorry, what did you see, little man?
Did you know you're speaking to another Welshman, right?
I mean, you're a Welsh boy.
I wasn't referring to me, gamer.
Well, you seriously think he's lived in England more than he has in Wales, and he's denounced his Welsh heritage? Okay,
It's
Is that how
once a
that
Welsh
works?
man, always a Welsh man, whether you like it or not.
really? We've took him out of the valleys, and like he's took the valleys out of him by the looks of it. Do your best Welsh impression,
I knew you were
Aaron.
going to say that.
Whose coat is that jacket?
I knew you was going to say that. I knew the first
Such a
thing he was going to say is,
cliche thing.
whose coat is that
Who shows
jacket?
that I was trainers?
Oh, I'll be there now in a minute, man. And then you get the typical one that that Ryan does all the time. Oh, listen now, Rye. All the bloody time. It's like he's saying his name.
Listen.
You say it.
Right.
Listen, go on. You say it all the time.
Well, I'm
like
not going to say all right, am I? I just say right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Everyone sounds like Nessa when they say all right.
Because it's like it's up that way, isn't it?
Alright.
It's like Barry, isn't it? Isn't that where you were originally from?
Yes, I am from Barry.
Go on, say.
Cool.
All right.
Also,
No.
No. What the fuck was that?
No.
I don't really know. That's not
Were you
No.
island side or further up?
I was gonna say he's more like, what is it, Western? Jeez. Oh god. To be fair though, like whenever the Welsh are on TV, most of the time they pick the thickest fucks going, don't they? And they give like the Welsh such a bad sort of rep with the way they speak because they talk really slow. For example, Swansea people, like people from Swansea, they got like a really thick Welsh accent, but they talk extremely slow and they sound thick as fuck. And hearing that on TV, it makes us all look and sound thick as fuck.
Alright, Mum, I'm just popping down the post office to see Auntie Pat.
Right, you spoke about 10 times too fast. It's like, all right, I'm just popping down the shop I am to see Auntie Pat to see if she's got that thing out of her vag, you know? Like, they speak super... I don't know, that was the first thing that came to my mind.
I
speaking
really
from
hope you
experience-
haven't got an actual Auntie Pat, because that would be really concerning.
I don't know.
Oh.
But, it's... Yeah,
I did find out recently that you actually have your alphabet.
Yeah. It's
I wasn't
alphabet.
aware of this.
The Welsh have their own alphabet.
You wasn't aware that another language had their own alphabet.
Welsh isn't that far off English, let's be real.
No, there's a lot
Neither
more
is
blend.
any other language.
I'm pretty sure Chinese would have very
They've got-
different...
They've got their own alphabet.
I mean, yes.
Has German got their own alphabet? Russian?
I have no idea, I haven't fucking looked into it. But I
No, the
didn't
Russians
realise
have,
the
because they got
Welsh
like
did.
reverse letters and shit.
Yeah.
Like every
Russian.
language has their own alphabet.
I don't think every language.
Name a language that hasn't got their own alphabet.
American.
It's still American.
It's still the same
Like, that's-
alphabet though.
why
He's
the
not
fuck
wrong.
have Americans done that though? Let's be fair. It's not. It can't just be English, can it? Americans have to steal everything. Like it's not just English. It's American English. We what is it? It's like it was always the thing in school where we was writing sulfur and people would write it with an F and then other people would write it with a PH and the teacher would like have a go like you're not spelling it right. You're spelling it the American way. Like the Americans always have to like take things, try and make it their own, and like it just doesn't work. Like
They
they
just
just
take
do it
letters
wrong.
out. Like they don't like use for some reason.
Yeah,
In my head,
Ah,
I've just got
right.
an image of Kevin like a really old man's outfit. Like they're coming over here and stealing our alphabet.
They're coming over here and stealing our language. But like, think of kitchen foil, right? What material is it?
Aluminium, but they would say
Exactly.
aluminum.
Aluminum.
I'm just gonna get my aluminum foil and wrap up this turkey. Like, nah, fam, it's aluminium. There's an extra letter there. Like, no, or an extra few letters. I don't know how differently they spell it.
I wasn't expecting this to go off on such a tangent. Didn't know you had such strong feelings about this, Kev.
Fucking Americans, just stealing our language and making it worse.
But no, I heard something on, I think it was a YouTube video or something. Content creators, I think, are Welsh, and they said, I think it was something like Zvim or something. It's spelled BIM, or something, and apparently you've got a Welsh letter that's essentially just Z, but there's a B or something. I don't know. I didn't look too much into it, but I just remember hearing it.
I know there's a German. I know there's a German letter which looks like a weird squiggly B, that is kind of like a S
Yes.
kind of sound. I know because if you say du bist,
I'll
du
see
bist
if I
is
can find.
du bist is groß. The groß is GRO and then that squiggly B, and it means like you are tall or something like that.
I'll see if I can find the part like where it is, and then you.
Hey, I can speak German.
The main. I know that the main one with Welsh is that F is V and double F is F.
Yeah. To be fair, I think the Welsh is the reason why people like double D so much, because there is a letter in our alphabet with double D. And people thought that we were always on about titties, but no, it's like the TH sound that you make. Yeah, it's a the. It's kind of like, yes. Sorry, I can just hear my daughter singing behind me in the room. She's playing Valorant, and all I can hear is her singing terribly.
Sorry, correction. It wasn't a B. It was a double D. It was double DIM.
Yeah.
Oh, them.
Them.
Yes, that's it.
Them,
so rather we them and
means...
hotty coffee. So that means I don't like coffee.
Yes, them's technically not even a word. I don't think. It's more of a connotation. It implies negative.
So yeah, take our double D and shove it where the sun don't shine. We have our own alphabet because we have another language.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting.
So yeah, tangent over.
Never bring up languages again in front of Kev. Noted.
Yeah.
Kev gets angry about Americans and starts
He does.
German.
Oh, come on, though, dude. Like, don't you think the same?
Say him off again.
Like, why change a perfectly, well, fucked up language? Because there's so many words that...
I was going to say English is supposed to be one of the hardest languages to learn.
It is. In my opinion, it is. English is the worst language, and they've just gone and made it even worse.
There's certain things that I
don't know. The language
like,
is pretty simple.
And it's like sidewalk.
Yeah, that's exactly the first thing I was going to bring out. Instead of pavement, it's sidewalk because they need to be told to walk the side of the road, not on.
Because they're so fucking thick.
That's not. I was going with that, but it's like I'd argue the American English is probably more simplified than what English is. With that logic.
So what you're trying to say is
trash can.
Pretty much comparing Chinese with simplified Chinese.
No, what I'm saying is, let's say someone from China is coming to England or America, they'll probably pick up the American English quicker than the English because it is literally like sort of simplified. It is sidewalk. You're at the side of the road rather than pavement, which they're not going to like sort of connect that with anything, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
No, I totally get what you mean, but the word pavement actually comes from Latin.
That's all well and good, but they're learning English, not Latin. So they're not like to them. They're not going to know
the oldest language and is derived from it though. Because
I mean,
the Latin pavimentum, which means trodden down floor.
You're splitting hairs here. I don't think an average Chinese person that is going to England is going to be like, "Oh yes, that is Latin. I know this one."
Listen, if they come to England, they go, "What the fuck's a pavement?" If they go to America and they go, "Oh my god, it's called a sidewalk because you walk on the side," that makes sense.
Yeah,
it was a comedian. It was a comedian put it perfectly for me, and they were like, "The English language is the English language, and the Americans changed it so it's not a language; it's instructions. Walk on the side,
right?
Sidewalk.
Okay, what about cookie versus biscuit?
Need to see a doctor about your eyes. Eye doctor.
Cookies versus biscuit. Cookie Monster. Everyone knows the Cookie Monster.
I'm confused. Cookies and biscuits, what?
So, where we call biscuits biscuits,
yeah,
we call some things cookies.
Yeah, but we call cookies cookies, like chocolate chip cookies, but there's biscuits. But then Americans call biscuits cookies, and they also scones biscuits.
It's the whole like chips and crisps.
Chips and French fries.
As well.
Yeah.
chips and crisps and French fries and chips. Like French fries to me are those like tiny little, like McDonald's chips.
Yeah.
They're French fries. But then we have those like chunky chips, which we call chips. But they still call them fries or French fries.
Yeah. It's just culture, isn't it?
And one last closing argument. Soccer and football.
Yeah,
You
no,
bring that up. You
100%.
mentioned Someone's stream the other day.
Yeah, there we go. Fuck you.
100%.
Fuck you, Ash. It's
No,
not
I'll-
soccer.
I'll
We're
give you
saying
that one.
fuck you to me.
Because you
you
started me
that one.
waffling.
Because
No,
I
it's just-
started waffling. What are you on about?
No, you started me waffling.
I didn't
got me
set
into
you
this
off again. I
language
think it was
page.
Ryan that set you off again. It's all you just got
My
popped back
favorite-
up.
Going on to that argument, my favorite thing I've ever seen was someone got into an argument with one of the MLS teams, and they basically posted saying it's football, not soccer, and they turned around and said your literal name is FC, which means football club, and you're calling it soccer and saying it's soccer, not football, but you're literally called football club in the MLS. I got shut down very quickly.
But like, yeah, English is, I feel, because we've been brought up with it, I feel it's like, because it's second nature to us, there are some weird like things we even get confused with. It's like some people still don't know how to put like they are, that which, blah, 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 whatever. You know, they still can't even structure a sentence with those simple words. Like irrespective of grammar, it's like using the correct words in the sentence. Like people still struggle very, like on a day-to-day basis, like to form the sentences correctly. So I agree where like English is the toughest language because it's so ass backwards. Like if you learn Welsh is easier than English. Like if you came from like Chinese, for example.
If you came from Chinese.
Oh, if you came from like natively speaking Chinese, that's what I was insinuating. If you came from I can't speak English, fuck. I'm natively Welsh, okay? Fuck you.
That tickled me a little bit.
But you got what I meant, but
I knew what you meant.
yeah, you just wanted to point that out to
It just tickled me, and I was going to start laughing at you to go, why are you laughing for?
But no, if you came from natively speaking Chinese and you spoke Welsh or you spoke English, they'd probably find it easier to speak Welsh. It's like when I used to learn French, they had masculine and feminine words and stuff, and you knew. And then when I started learning German, it was the same there. Like they had sort of, it's like when you say my husband or my dog, because they're sort of masculine names, it says it's mein Hund, which is my dog. But if you said my cat, it's meine Katz. Like there's an E on the end. So it's got the masculine and feminine versions of the words. So in a lot of language, like Italian, I think may have the same. But all the languages that I have learned, all the languages that I've learned or like learned basics of, they've all got the same structure. Whereas English, it's fucked. Like there's no two ways about it. It like the way sentences can be structured, they're like, what the hell? But they actually make perfect sense. It's crazy.
I may be completely wrong with this, but like one of the big things that stands out to me is the complete difference in languages in English. Like how people speak in Cornwall compared to Newcastle is astoundingly different.
Oh, yeah.
It's mad. It's because everywhere has like the different slang and language is evolving all the time.
I've been to different parts of Spain and I've been to different parts of France, and it might just be because I don't understand what they're saying anyway. But typically, when they speak their native tongue, they sound like they're speaking French, and they would all sound like they're speaking pretty much the same French.
Yeah.
Whereas in England,
things.
you could have a conversation with two people from the north and the south and have completely different conversations going on at exactly the same time.
Yeah. Well, northern people don't even say the, for starters.
I think you find that we do.
Are you sure?
Bird.
I'm going up to the shop now. I'm going up to the shop.
It's Yorkshire that don't use the word the.
I'm pretty sure Yorkshire's in the north.
Yeah.
It's a part of the north. It's not the north as a whole.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. But like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain, like, you said France. So northern France speak slightly different French to southern France, just like northern Wales speaks different Welsh to southern Wales. Because they do have a separate, like, sort of way of saying things.
It's more,
but the basics are the same.
The direct language
the
is the same. But so one of the main differences between North Walian and like South West Walian is that West Walians will speak a lot more Wenglish.
You're confusing the caveman, probably.
One of the things that West Walian people will do a lot is they'll mix Welsh and English in sentences, whereas North Walians will commit more to speaking pure Welsh.
Traditional Welsh.
Yeah. Like, I used to take...
They've also got more Liverpudlian accents as well up at the very north. They go very much like...
I used to wind my ex-girlfriend up a lot. She was fluent Welsh speaking, and she used to look after kids after her like job in the nursery. And we were down the park the one day with one of the kids she was looking after, and because she worked in a Welsh nursery, so she would speak to them in Welsh to continue like the education of the Welsh language, even if we were out at the park or whatever. And
yeah, they're not allowed to speak English, are they?
It's not as strict as it used to be, but they do push them more to speak Welsh than speaking English.
Yeah.
But they do have non-Welsh speaking people go to the nursery as well. And although they'll encourage them to speak Welsh as much as possible to learn the language, they also have to cater to the fact that they don't understand and they don't speak it at home.
Yeah. But that's the thing, because the parents need to carry it on as well.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they won't get that practice.
I vividly remember being down the park and he was running over to a bush and she automatically went, "What's your stingies?" Which is definitely not Welsh at all. But she put "your" on the end of "watch" to make it sound Welsh. And that's a lot of what West Walians would do.
Yeah. Like, I remember when I was younger, like some of my mates used to go to a Welsh school and they used to tell me they used to have like detention or something, or like they'd have to stay in if they spoke English in their Welsh school.
In the schools it is. In the schools it's a lot more stricter.
Yeah. Like that's what I mean. So like they were in it shut by the time like I even went to comp. But like the Welsh primary school, like they would literally be so strict. They would like keep you in, like if you spoke English. And then I think Cwm Rhymney was stricter, but I think as the years went on, they sort of laxed the rules a bit more. Like you said, they're less thingy about it, because you do have to compensate for, like, if your first generation you're going in learning Welsh constantly, and then your parents don't speak it, or they get a very, very basic understanding and speech of it, like they can't speak it that well, then you're going to struggle to continue that learning and continue the education of the Welsh language if nobody else around you can speak it. So the only place you speak it is in school. So I kind of understand it from that point of view. And it'd be hard, I think, but I do like the language. The language is a very good language. There's quite a few. I do love Italian. Like, Italian is a very nice language. I like the Russian language purely because no matter, you can say the most nicest thing, but you can then sound like you're trying to kill someone at the same time when you're saying it. It's the same with German. That's why I've opted to learn German over Russian, because obviously what's going on with Russia, I don't really want to go around speaking Russian and potentially like inciting anything, you know? But if I go around speaking German, people just think that I'm just like an angry German lad. But German's a nice language to learn too. It's quite easy as well.
Aggressive.
It's also very aggressive.
It can be very aggressive. I do agree.
Oh, dude, like you have no idea how funny it is learning it on Duolingo. Like, you can have the most innocent sentence to learn or to read or to say out loud, and you've got this like little boy saying it, or you've got the man saying it, or the woman, or whatever, and it is the most aggressive sounding thing ever. It's like you can say, my dog is smart, and it's relatively normal.
Go on then.
But then the man saying it, or the kid saying it, he goes, "Mein Hund an klug." It's like, oh, the fuck was that? What are you saying to me? What are you calling me? You're saying mein Hund is klug, which is my dog is smart. But it sounds so fucking aggressive.
I would love to hear old Modern Warfare 2 lobbies translated into German.
Yes.
Like they were aggressive anyway.
Yeah, they were aggressive anyway. That'd be brilliant. I wonder if I can try and translate it.
It's oh, here we
Jesus
go.
Christ. Ich habe deine Mutter gefickt. Which means I fucked your mum.
Oh. You're far too quick with computers for your own good sometimes.
Oh mate, I had half of the sentence in my head anyway. But it was the fucked part that I didn't know. So now I know what that word is. I'm gonna put out a few more sentences.
But it is like
it's
going back,
by the way.
Going back, bringing it back to the whole gaming side of things. There is quite a few good games due to come out now over the next couple of months, which is great for gaming, not so much for the bank account. But I think was it Sonic you said was coming out soon as well, Ling?
Yeah, 8th of November is Sonic Frontiers.
What's that about?
Good.
Think Zelda Breath of the Wild, but Sonic.
So is it like free roam?
Yeah.
So what's Zelda Breath of the Wild like?
Oh.
I've never played Zelda games.
It's a bit like an open world Sonic.
So it's like an adventure game.
What other games can I compare it to?
So a little bit.
Goat Simulator 3 is coming.
From off the top of my head, from what I remember, Zelda being like is a bit similar to Spyro.
Yeah, Spyro.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe. Okay, no. Sort of like Spyro.
Not massively, but like that sort of element of open world, but with worlds and levels to complete.
Well, it's one big map.
Mm.
So it's like GTA.
Sure.
Sure.
Mate. The fact that you've comparing Sonic to GTA makes me want it now. Wait, there was new leaks to GTA, right? Like, no leaks. They released it.
No idea.
Like GTA was trending. Like
yeah, I did see GTA was trending the other day.
It's got to be due a release date soon.
It's nowhere near finished by the looks of stuff they would like. You know that massive leak that came out.
Mm.
It just doesn't seem like it's anywhere near finished at the moment. So it'll be probably another year or two, if anything.
Oh, that's bare minimum, isn't it, though?
Because they've been saying a lot that the online community is starting to die on GTA 5.
Been dying for years.
It's been dying for a long fucking time.
Mm. It's still been making them enough money to keep it going, though.
The only place it really hasn't died off or anything is the roleplay servers.
Mm.
Yeah, the RP is huge, though, isn't it?
Didn't you apply for one of them before, Kev?
Yeah, I'm on it too. Like, I haven't played it yet, but I got accepted. I've left the Discord service and stuff because I went to do it, but then I was like, can I really be bothered? It was like when I was getting bored of Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight.
You brought it up. You did it.
He did it. He broke it. He broke the challenge.
I haven't spoke about the game though.
You literally said
you
named the game. You mentioned it.
I'm not going to talk about it though. I'm just saying I got bored of the game.
It's fine. Carry on.
It can.
So I got Okay, then I just won't refer to the name. I wasn't talking
the
about
game that
but
shall not be named.
yeah. The game that fear of a name is only increasing fear of the thing itself. Sorry, that's a really bad quote from Harry Potter.
That was fucking awful.
It was. I couldn't be bothered to do Hermione's voice, okay?
You better not forget what you were going to go on about.
No, I won't forget because I've got it up in front of me. But yeah, so the game that shall be named, apparently, I got bored of it. So I wanted to go some other things, and applying to a GTA RP server, honestly, it looked pretty cool. But I would if I played on like a GTA RP server, I'd either want to be a sex worker or I'd be like, because that shit would be funny. like if you were a sex worker, that shit would be funny.
Have you ever seen?
And it's not allowed. ERP servers like that aren't allowed apparently. But as of playing 10 minutes ago, this is gonna. Oh fuck's sake! The fact that I just went on for a sex worker and I didn't even look at the numbers. On Steam charts, 69,481 people are playing GTA 5 right now. Like as of 10 minutes ago.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's more than the game that shall not be named. It's actually more than double, I think.
But like the one of the clips I've seen from I don't know if it was a GTA roleplay server, but if it wasn't, then this guy is just fucking out of his mind, and it was hilarious. So it's a guy walks up and robs someone else's personal vehicle online, and all of a sudden you just hear a voice go, "That's not a good idea, bro. Put the car back."
Oh,
Put the car back, bro. Put the car back.
Car.
Yeah. And he's like, "Are you in the back?" He's like, "I'm in the back, bro. Just put the fucking car back." He's like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry.
No, it looks fun though.
But he's literally just parked his car up and got in the back of the car and waited for someone to come and steal it.
That's good. That's really good. Like I've seen a lot of RP players and it does look super fun. It's just a lot of the servers, like they're not really like beginner friendly for RPers. And I think as a new like RP player kind of thing, it wouldn't sort of like, because it's so strict, it's kind of like a limiting experience, because like if you don't really know what you're doing or you're not really familiarized with all the terminology and this, that, and the other and whatnot, then you're gonna like break character or like fail RP or whatever it's called, and like a lot of servers are pretty strict on it, and they'll ban you or they'll kick you and then they'll ban you after a while, and it's just I can't be dealing with that shit. Like
you would have to role play as an arsehole, because eventually you break character and be an arsehole, so you just have to be from the start.
Pretty much, yeah.
you should have applied to just live underneath a bridge as a fucking troll.
Oh, fucking goblin!
Just your whole character was just to go around the map and annoy people in different ways.
Like not even driving above your bridge, just go.
Just not even to like steal people's cars or anything, just to like pop one tire as a pure inconvenience.
Just one tire.
Just one tire.
But like you can't do. This is what I mean. You can't do things like that to like.
Technically, you can, but the roleplay police would then roleplay police would then be hunting you down. But you would just be this troll that lived under the bridge.
Could you be asked being one of them moderators? Oh, this guy's just popped my tire.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the thing, though. Like, that's the whole roleplay of it. If someone popped your tire, you would have to report it to the role-playing police for them to go and deal with it.
It just seems like
I'd feel more sorry for the police. Like, this motherfucker just run a red light. Like, everyone's run a red light. It's fucking GTA.
Just load GTA, go and steal a jet, and go and cause havoc like any other person.
I love GTA Online. It was such fun.
Like, there was a character that got accepted to a server, and his name was Master Bates, and he came from like a royal family. That's why his name was Master, and he always had to be referred to as Master Bates.
Hang on, I'm assuming he's role playing a royal family. Actually, someone
part it was a royal
family, and his name he chose was Master Bates.
No, like nobody knew his first name.
Fucking Prince Harry on a wild one.
Exactly.
Because I took the story of what's it called? Frozen, where like my parents had sail on a ship and then they died, and like nobody knew. Like I was pretty much an orphan, like Batman. I was like mixing all these stories, and I just had my name as Master Bates. That was it. And I put like more of a sob story or whatever into it, like the generic shit, like, oh, I just wanted to grow up and just like have a happy family, this, that, and the other, or I just did the best I could in my situation, that kind of shit. But it was like you had like in the application process, like they had all these questions, like, what would you do if you saw a robbery going down and this, that, and the other? Would you report it to the cops? And like you need to give details for your answer. And then
sounds like far too much effort.
That's what I mean. And that was just on the application forms. And you had to have like an actual story with like 2,000 characters minimum. And I got accepted into a couple of servers, like with all different characters, because sometimes they would just get declined. So I had to make up fucking like different characters and stuff. And it was just, it's too much work.
Do you know what I used to do on GTA? I had a bright pink Faggio with the zebra seat. You know, the little scooter thing.
Yeah.
Well, like the one you have in real life.
I was going to get one actually, just for a laugh. It had the clown, and I used to put C4 under my seat, drive up next to someone who was playing online, honk the horn. As they pulled a gun up, I would just blow myself up and kill them in the process. That was my fun in GTA.
To be fair, my fun in GTA was driving around until somebody shot me. Then I'd change cars, and then I'd throw C4 out the window as I drove past them and blow them up.
Pretty much. One of my favorite things they brought in was you could hire mercenaries.
Yes.
I used to love hiring mercenaries.
Yeah.
But, the pickpocketer dude was the best. You'd do it on your mate and just distract him for 2 seconds.
The muggins, yeah. So there's.
I think we should play GTA 5.
No, thank you.
Why not? Like not role play. Not role play.
Everything's been done with it. There's a lot we could do with it. Like as I said, I used to watch Achievement Hunter a lot. They done a lot of things with GTA where they would make their own games or they would make their own challenges and things like that. And it was they were really funny with some of the stuff that they done. But one of their running jokes was that pretty much every video someone would hire a mugger to come and rob Gavin.
Yeah, to rob Gavin, yeah.
And one of the funniest ones I've ever seen, they were trying to fly a plane through the letter O on the Hollywood sign. I know where you're going with this. And he stood on top of the sign using like the phone camera to actually like record the plane flying at him. And someone hired a mugger and they stood on the side and you can see this mugger climb up all the ladders and then stab him. And he just falls off the top of the sign and has no clue why he died.
That sounds like fun.
Do you remember, I can't remember what the game was, but they hired one when they were messing around with jets before, and the mugger actually stole the jet. But they needed the actual like thing they were doing, so they had to go and steal the jet.
They stole, they stole one of the military jets and managed to get like the police off them and all the rest of it. They hired the mugger and he jumped in the fucking military jet and took off.
I think Jeff was fucking furious about it.
It's so much that they done over the years. It was fucking brilliant. I'd be interested in doing some things in GTA 6 when it does come out. But everything like GTA 5 is dying a death, and any content you make on it is just going to be either recreated or
it should have died ages ago. To be fair,
yeah, not necessarily recording the content, just for a chill kind of thing. Like maybe if we wanted to, we could just do some heists or something.
On GTA.
Yeah, podcast while we play, or racing while we're doing the podcast.
If I don't own it on PC, I'm not buying it for the 4th time.
I only have it on PlayStation. I'm pretty sure it's not cross-platform.
Yeah, I've bought it twice for PlayStation.
Wasn't it free on like what was it? GTA? No, Rockstar Launcher or something. I think it's called.
I doubt it.
It was free. I'm not sure if it still is. Did you not like it, Aaron, or what happened?
The game died years ago. Let it die.
Very much agree.
Let it go.
Across 3 fucking generations now. It needs to die.
Master Base.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I literally bought it on PlayStation 3, got bored of it, and then got it on PlayStation 4 because it was updated and online was actually more stable and usable.
And then PlayStation 5 came out, and
Well,
I'm like, no, where's GTA 6?
all of my friends stopped playing it, so I got rid of it, and then everyone wanted to play GTA Online again when the new heists come out. So I went and rebought it. So I've bought it like 3 times, and I'm not doing it again.
So I had it on 360. Then I upgraded to Xbox One. Didn't play it because my friends were still on 360. Then my other friends got it on Xbox One. So like, all right, cool, play it on Xbox One. Then I went to PC, got it on PC. Then I think I had it on Epic Games then, and then the GTA launcher thing. So I've got it 5 times.
No,
I don't think
you.
I paid for 2. So I bought it 3 times.
Let it go.
It should have stopped on this, like PlayStation 4, whatever the Xbox equivalent was. It should never have moved up to the gen after that.
Look at Skyrim though.
It annoys me that Skyrim's been re-released on Start.
Yeah. Like
Skyrim's just as bad.
Skyrim's worse. It's fucking released on every fucking platform.
But also, what do they do? Release a high def texture pack?
Yeah.
And the ability to put mods on it? Like, I agree that they should have re-released it for consoles, or if they could, put an update so you can just have the mods on there. But as far as that, like, they didn't need to release. Are they releasing it again, or because I know they re-released it again for a VR version?
They did, yeah. They re-released it for Switch because I think it was on Wii U or Wii or whatever the fuck it was on. They've literally released it for every fucking platform.
If they could get it on Game Boy Advance, I bet they would.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get Doom on a fridge, so wouldn't surprise me.
But yeah, Skyrim's had probably the most re-releases of any game.
Yeah. Hey, you. Finally hungry. But yeah, so it's... I think out of the games that have been re-released, I think Skyrim has been released more, and I think that should die over GTA, because at least you can do things in GTA still.
You still think do things in Skyrim. They're both games that
like the only things you can do in
stop.
The only things you can do in Skyrim is like, as long as there's people creating mods, there's going to be content for it. And I think the modding community for Skyrim is the only reason why that game is still as popular as it is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, what happened to Oblivion? People don't play Oblivion now. There's probably people playing Skyrim more than ESO, is it? Elder Scrolls Online, I think it's called.
ESO's still getting updates.
Yeah, so ESO is probably less popular than Skyrim. I could get the numbers. Yeah, like with
I'm just gonna go on
it is popular.
Twitch just because it's easy. So 1.1k viewers on Elder. What do you think Skyrim's sitting at?
Probably less.
There's actually 2 versions.
So there's Skyrim and then there's Skyrim Special Edition, isn't there?
That annoys me that there's 2 fucking categories for the same fucking game.
The Special Edition has mods though.
That bothers me.
Well, we just appreciate that Garfield Kart Furious Racing is the best game ever made, though.
Look, Garfield Kart is fantastic. Like, you best be like joking and not being sarcastic.
I'm not.
Good.
Okay,
I stand corrected. Playing 22 minutes ago, Skyrim is 3,500. Elder Scrolls is 15,000. But the all-time peak for Skyrim is over 90,000. It's almost 91,000. But then ESO is 49,000.
Yeah, Skyrim didn't. Not Skyrim. ESO didn't peak as much. ESO had a bad release.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it had a really bad release.
I bought it for Xbox One. I was super excited. I pre-ordered it, the top edition, like as soon as it was released, and I played it, and I was like, "The fuck's happening?" It was unplayable for me, and I couldn't.
It was very much unplayable. I remember it being very fucking weird.
I haven't touched it since.
No, apparently it's doing really, really well.
Yeah,
Well,
I've
yeah,
viewed those things.
It's got a good community with it, and it's still getting updates. But when you bought a game, had that hype, and it's had that bad of a release, I can understand that people probably don't want to try and get into it again.
Yeah.
like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk was supposed to be this massive game that was going to be so good and break all the boundaries of all this and all that.
Well, it
Like,
did.
There was so much hype around it. Yeah, but it was like half a game when it released.
It broke all the boundaries of the bugs.
You know, the best thing I heard about it, the content creators I used to watch, who's very into he's a bit like you, Kev. He's very into his technology, like no scenes. And he said the best graphics card on the market couldn't even run the highest settings on Cyberpunk, and I found that why even make something that can't be run?
Because it's the same as Crysis, isn't it? It's like back in the day, they'd be like, "Oh, well, can I run Crysis?" Like, did you ever hear any of that, or did you not watch any like tech YouTubes?
Never
but like when people used to do like benchmarks and stuff, they'd be like, "Well, can I run Crysis?" Because Crysis was like known to be a very sort of like intensive game to run.
So is that sort of a common thing then? Is a game will release and it's sort of they'll release it to such a high spec that it can't be run at its best spec by the best thing on the market, so that becomes the new grade.
I mean, it's not common to do it. So there's two reasons I think. One is because if you can't, if they've got, say for example, Cyberpunk had like this partnership with Nvidia, which is, in case you didn't know, a graphics card manufacturer. Well, caveman, I don't know, do I? Let's be honest. But say for example they've got this, and then they've got like dual Nvidia Titan X's, which was the highest grade graphics card they had. Maybe they had prototypes, or maybe they had like these dev kits where they could actually which aren't uncommon to have, but you can have graphics cards that are way more powerful than actually consumer grade graphics cards. So maybe they developed them for that, knowing that technology, that particular technology in their graphics cards is way more powerful than what is on the market right now. So they make it to spec that. So then when it does come out, say for example a 3090 Ti couldn't run it on the highest settings at like a stable FPS. Like it may be able to run it at 30 FPS, so it's kind of playable, but it wouldn't be able to run it at 60 or 120 or 144 or above. Out comes the new graphics cards, like the 4090, the 5090, and suddenly you can actually run it 1080p max settings and you can get a decent frame rate. That brings the hype back to that game to sort of re-immerse yourself in the graphical fidelity of how beautiful that game is and have it as a playable experience. So
couldn't you just release an update for that later on after the game's had its hype and say you can now play this on even better graphics? And then release some side things with that as well.
As much as you can, re-releasing a game like we've experienced with Skyrim and GTA, it doesn't.
It's not re-releasing the game; it's just giving an update with better graphics.
But then that gives the graphics team more money, more time to spend making new graphics for that after a few years. So if they do it from the start, if they make the best graphics they can from the start and make it so it's not unplayable, it's not a very pleasant experience playing it at max settings, then when the graphics cards do come out that can finally play it, it instantly brings back hype and gives that sort of hype about it, which increases like the market value, or like the sort of talking about that game without the devs or anything even doing anything. Like they don't have to. It's free marketing for them, essentially, isn't it? Like if because if content, say for example, me and you played Pokemon. I mean, just because I'm looking at our Discord and the first thing I saw was Pokemon. Say we were playing Pokemon, and Pokemon couldn't. We both had what's the new ones? 4090 Ti's, the ones that are melting these days. The power cable for the new graphics cards are melting because they run so hot. Say we both had 4090 Ti's, most powerful as far as we know consumer graphics card on the market right now, and we couldn't play the new Pokemon at max settings on 1080p without it running below the 30 FPS. So we're content creators, so we stream the game when it comes out, or we make content on the game on like medium or high settings, so it's playable and it looks okay. And then we feel a bit nostalgic, and a couple of years down the line, we've upgraded our graphics cards to the 5090s, and then all of a sudden we realized, wait a minute, we can play this new this old Pokemon game now. I wonder what it looks like with the new graphics cards on the higher settings if we can run it now. And then all of a sudden we can run it. And then you can see a difference between running it on high to running it on ultra. So then you make more content on there saying about how beautiful the graphics are, how much it is. So then you as a content creator, you're creating content for a game that's like 2-3+ years old. It's the same content, but it looks way better because of the new updated graphics.
But they still spent the time, resources putting that game out on the highest graphics, so it's still
this is what I mean. They spent the time doing it from the start. They didn't do it from decent graphics now, and then after a few years, they redo the graphics to make them higher textures. They didn't spend that extra time after they released it. From the get-go, they made it the best graphics they can. Rather than spending twice as long doing it once at like okay, and then a few years down the line better. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but in my head, it just feels pointless.
Caveman. I agree, it's pointless, but it's one way to build hype about a game and get people interested in it after a few years when they can actually run it on the highest setting.
And then agree with.
Yeah, I agree with him to an extent. Yeah, it is stupid because why would you do it other than to do that?
It's very risky, and I think Cyberpunk paid a big price for it.
They did, yeah.
I for one was interested.
Released unplayable regardless.
I was interested in Cyberpunk, but I didn't have the money to buy it when it first came out. So I had a little look, seen all the reviews, seen all the shit around it, and I've never bothered to pick it up. I just don't trust it.
That's what I was saying. Like when a game releases in such a bad state, there's a lot of people that maybe won't be interested that just don't see the point that even when it's in a good state like it is now, they don't see the point in trying to pick it up because of
the
initial experience they had with it. Yeah, and that as well. The hype's gone.
It's like with me, I was very much interested, although I had it on my PS4 Pro, I was very much interested in getting the remaster of Spider-Man. Because I played through it 2 or 3 times because there was like a New Game Plus option, and I went through it on the New Game Plus option. I completed all the achievements on the first one, and I was like, let's go do it again. And I saw that it was getting released for Steam, and I was like, super hyped for it. Max, my mod, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he actually got it because he's like a billionaire, and he gets every single game he wants. He doesn't care.
He's not a billionaire. He just owns every game on Steam.
Yeah, he owns Valve pretty much. So he played it, and he's got a decent graphic. I think he got a 3080. He plays on a laptop, but he's got a 3080, and his specs are phenomenal. It's really good. But he said that he bought it as well, and like the game's pretty much unplayable as soon as you turn ray tracing on, and that was the biggest selling point of the graphics were good, but with ray tracing they made them insane. And I think that's the kind of same thing that Cyberpunk did, where the graphics were amazing, but with all those amazing graphics, and then you put ray tracing over the top of it, especially because ray tracing was like pretty early days back then, wasn't it? That was when I think the 20 series graphics cards came out, and RTX was still kind of in its baby steps. I think it's like 3rd generation RTX now, probably. I can't remember. But because he was so graphically intensive, he was just unplayable. And it's the same with Spider-Man. You can play it kind of the same graphics as a PS4 Pro, but if you wanted to actually feel the full benefit of the remaster by turning RTX on, you couldn't, because it would just crash your game and it would just like break itself, and everything would look like a mushy puddle and all the texture was merged or whatever happened. It was just an awful experience. And I think that's where developers go wrong in rushing games out, and not optimizing them. They're just doing it for the money. Like, that's where your point comes in, Mr. Caveman, and saying, why do the graphics that good if it doesn't work? Which I agree. Especially on the best. Like, if it worked fine on the 3090 Ti's or whatever, yeah, fair enough, go for it. But if it didn't even work on like the same gen cards that it was originally made for, why bother? It's daft.
It is very daft. Speaking of daft thing, have you
subscribe to King Crazy?
Have you seen the internet blown up about Blizzard recently?
I've seen it blown up, but I think for my version of Blown Up and yours is different. So I've got two versions, and that's World of Warcraft, obviously, because of the new expansion, the new pre-patch that went live a few days ago. But then the other way is Overwatch skins costing way too much, even though they're really nice. Is that what you're referring to? Right, okay. I don't know too much about it because I don't read much about Overwatch, but tell us a story in Balamori, Ash.
So with the Halloween event, obviously we got the Junker Queen PvE thing. Along with that, we got a lot of skins, a lot of which came with various other things like victory poses and what have you, that are only obtainable by buying the packs. For people that didn't play Overwatch 1 back in the day, the way you used to get some of these cosmetics was you would play the game, level up, you get a loot box. Probably one of the first games I think that loot boxes were a part of, and there was various issues with that as well, quote unquote gambling and what have you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming because of that, they've scrapped loot boxes now. The game's gone free to play, and their way to make money now is through their skins, their emotes, and what have you. To get any of this new content, skins and what have you, you have to pay, I think it's £26 or something. I will double check it, but it's somewhere along those lines for skin, which is astronomical. Yes.
Just
we'll say
ridiculous.
£20 just to be reasonable. It's £20 for one skin, which still in itself is excessive.
It is. But with how popular Fortnite has become, and other games doing the same thing, like battle passes, skins on free-to-play games, do you blame them?
Yes.
But in most cases where battle passes are a thing, you re-earn that battle pass just from doing the battle pass. Like you pay for it, then you re-earn it. There's a lot of games that
and
do
a little bit more.
Not with Overwatch. You do not re-earn it. You pay for that battle pass every single time it comes out, and you get 2 skins, whatever that maybe is reasonable, and a few of the bits and bobs. But if you want most, there's, for example, the new character that's out at the minute. I don't think I've seen a single person with a different skin on it because they refuse to pay £20 for a new skin. And there's no other way to earn it short of spending 3 months playing the game to earn one skin. And it's just not worth the effort.
This is what I've never understood, and it's a thing my grandfather used to speak about a lot. Was like, you know, like in the town centers and things like that, where you'll have like the merry-go-rounds and things like that. He always used to be like, it'd be like £2 or £3 to have a go on the merry-go-round. He was like, every time you go through town, there's like 1 or 2 people on the merry-go-round at the time. If that merry-go-round cost 50p a ride, it would be full almost every time that it was used. And same goes with like the skins. Like you said, you don't see anyone with the skins. If those skins were £5-6 a pop, you would probably find them all over the place. And instead of making £20 off one person, they'd be making £100 off 20 people, for example. And just it blows my mind that they price people out of buying things to the point where no one buys it out of 1, principle, and 2, literal lack of money. Like, they're given like the cost of living crisis and everything that's going on as well.
This is in a time where we're dealing with cost of living as well.
Yeah. Like, for something that's digital, which doesn't require an expense, like an ongoing expense, like there's not going to be a rise in material costs or anything that they have to atone for, or there's not the cost of shipping or anything like that. There is literally, it's a digital item where the cost to make it is the cost that they have.
I kind of like, I agree with you, but the time that it takes for artists and stuff to come up with those renders and whatever, it does take a lot of time and skill. You're paying for the time that they've spent not only making that particular cosmetic, but the time that they've learned.
I know it's like, a cost
through their entire life, like learning how to like create the graphics, how to
even that
brush strokes, that kind of stuff.
That is a fixed cost that they will have, regardless of how much they sell the skin for and how many skins they sell. That cost will never change.
I understand the skins could definitely be cheaper, but like as far as like averages go, I'd say that that's a little bit higher than average.
A little bit. That's nearly double.
Dude, you haven't played. Have you played Valorant?
No, and I have an issue with Valorant in principle as well. So
exactly, Valorant's a piss
go
take.
down that road.
Like this is what I mean. I can see Blizzard. Yes, a little bit of a cash grab. They've basically just done they've done a FIFA. They've just reskinned Overwatch for the new year kind of thing. I know it's been over years, but you know what I'm going with the analogy. They've just made it a free to play game. It's just a reskin. It's like Call of Duty. It's a reskin like each year. Maybe some different features here or there. There's new champions. There's might be new maps, but they've made it free to play this time. But here we go. Here's a battle pass. Like,
but like your typical skins don't cost £20.
No.
Like, for example, the game.
Like Fortnite has had some, because they've got extra bits and pieces. Like they've got extra backpack things. They've got trails and stuff. I think I've seen them go for about £15, and I think they have had one for £20. I'm not 100% sure, but I have bought a very expensive.
If I'm not mistaken, you can earn that in game quite easily.
Not all of them. There's some of them that are limited in the store.
And I bet you those are the ones that are like Marvel characters and DC characters, people who are licensed.
Not all of them.
The majority of them that cost that price will be.
But you can understand because they're licensed as well.
Exactly. But that, like, Overwatch isn't licensed. It isn't using licensed skins.
Neither is Valorant. And to buy a knife skin, if you buy it in the bundle...
Yeah, but Valorant sucks as well.
No, what I'm trying to get at, a knife, just a skin for a knife, it's about £43.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, one of my friends got one that was like 70 odd quid or something. I was like, why the fuck
that's a bundle.
You paid that amount of money?
That's a bundle. So you get like an AR skin, a sub skin, a knife skin, and maybe some like little banners or something for your profile.
Like out of the thousands of people that play the games, people would be so much more likely to buy a skin if it cost £5 to £6.
But then that's the peer pressure kind of sort of like aspect of it, where it's like, oh well, I've got this amazing skin and you haven't. It's like bragging rights.
Bro, if someone wants to brag to me that they spent £70 on a fucking skin for their knife on fucking Valorant, I'll laugh in their face while I eat my cereal.
While I eat my dollar store cereal.
Like, I literally couldn't be asked. I could buy a whole new fucking game for that.
Exactly.
Complete it and take it back for half my money.
I understand that the game's gone free, and I know Fortnite did well and it sold various skins, but it feels very much going back to sort of what Ryan was saying with like, it's effectively marginal. It just doesn't seem right that you would have the price so high that you'd limit your demand so much to the point where people aren't even going to buy it, and you've then got the cost going, but no money coming in to cover that cost.
It's a big corporation. They don't care about the people. They care about the numbers. And if I'm being honest, people have probably paid like thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of people have probably paid for those skins, like £20 or on, because they want to be the ones that collect it all, or they want to be the ones to have that skin because nobody else has it. And
it's just pathetic, though. I could guarantee you
they would
probably make the same amount of money from making it cheaper and having it more available to the wider audience.
They'd make more.
They would 100%. But then there's the exclusivity and the rarity of those things. That's where it comes down to. It's like on Fortnite, the only way to get the Galaxy skin was if you bought the new Samsung Galaxy phone or the new Samsung Galaxy tablet. I was lucky enough to
do that, and I called them cocks as well.
No, I was lucky enough to work in in EE. So like Samsung used to come to my workplace, and we'd have a chat about and we have like this little workshop thing. And I was good friends with them. Like they got me the IMEI number of some the phones. They used to let me go on the phone, log on with my Fortnite account or whatever, and do it. And I had an upgrade deal anyway, so I upgraded to the new Samsung at the time, and I wanted a tablet as well. So I thought, oh well, rather than that, I'll just do that for a friend. So they did it for a friend, and then I had a Galaxy skin for my account, and I had a Galaxy skin for my daughter's account. But other than that, it's like it was £1,000 phone and like an £800 tablet. Like, and that's just for a skin, and people were going crazy. They were literally going into the Samsung stores or the phone shops and stuff, stealing the IMEI number, writing it down or taking a picture or whatever to do it. And they had so many requests for it from these, and they're actually marked as dummy phones. They had to contact the manufacturer, get the IMEI numbers, and blacklist those particular IMEI numbers from the what do you call it, the promotion.
I'm pretty sure what one of my friends did was he got a Samsung phone, did the thing to get the skin, and then returned the phone.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
He genuinely did not just get the skin. Didn't pay anything for it.
People that used to do that, they got caught out eventually, and then they had to when if it was like sort of it came up on a flag or something, what they would need to do is like take a picture of the phone with the IMEI number to prove it that they have it and they have it on them. You know when you dial *#06#, and then it comes up with the IMEI number, they'd have to take a picture of that with like their username or something by the phone just to prove it, and then they would give it to them.
It's just the same.
And then they did all promotions like that. Like, I agree with you. It's extortionate. But the numbers don't lie. If there wasn't that many people paying that amount of money for skins, they wouldn't price them at that much. If they were making a loss from it, or if they weren't getting many sales, they wouldn't price it that much. They put it lower. But the fact that they are keeping those prices that high, it shows that there's that much hype around it, and there's people want that exclusive skin or whatever. That's the reason why they do it. And it's understandable. Wouldn't you do it?
No, because you'd make more from having it lower, as long as you're covering your cost.
Yeah, but you're thinking of it from a consumer's point of view. If you
no, I'm thinking of it from a business perspective.
A business perspective, if they might not get that many interested because they're like, oh, well, it's a skin, it's cheap, everyone's going to have it. I don't want it. You get those kind of snobby people that are thinking, oh, I don't want to be that part of like everyone. Like everyone's like that. I want to be different. I want the expensive skins. I want something that people don't have.
But there's ways around that as well, because they could have skins where you unlock them by buying X amount of other skins. So those people would still have exclusivity from buying all of the skins and spending the same amount of money whilst achieving the same.
But then that's an entirely new business model.
Sales. Yeah, but it's just that's just simple off the top of the head. Like it baffles me that they don't think of these types of things.
World of Warcraft actually has something like that.
Like I would rather an exclusive skin be something that someone has had to grind the game and showed a loyalty to the game or a skill at the game to get. For example,
Warcraft has that.
Well, that was kind of what Watch One was. You grinded the game. You either paid a lot of money for loot boxes, or you just played the fucking game to get loot boxes until you eventually got what you want. And now it's just all. Now you just pay 20 quid. You can have this skin if you really want to pay through the nose for it.
So you, as much like with the money aspect of it, it's a free to play game.
It is, and I understand they need to make money somehow.
Yeah. So they monetize in-game actions. So how much were the loot boxes? Like I know you used to get them free.
I don't.
You get like
was
it 9?
Like 1 or 2 free every level up thing. Hang on, I'll find out.
I think it was 9 for every win. First win of the day, you'd get a box, and then so many wins on different game modes or something like that. I can't remember because I used to play arcade games all the time just so I could get some easy wins on a 3v3. But you used to get them free with Twitch Prime.
Okay, so for $20, which is probably about as close I'm going to get to £20, you would get 24 loot boxes. And I think from each loot box, you would get 3 random items, either a spray, skin, whatever.
You see, so that's not that bad.
You effectively have 72 items for £20, as opposed to 1 item for £20.
But that's 72 random items, and
72 random items, and that's a pretty good fucking chance at a legend. I think you were guaranteed a legendary after so many. Like, but then, it's still.
But then the game was like what, 30, 40, 50 quid maybe to buy. So they were still getting
30
sales.
or £40, yeah. So they were getting sales as well.
So we're getting sales through just people buying the game. They was getting sales through the loot boxes. To get around the gambling, they had to put like skins in the game, and people wouldn't really want to pay for the skins if they had to pay for the game as well. So it's easier to just make the game free and hike up the price of the skins. And now thinking about it while we've been talking about this, Ryan's sort of idea about making certain skins exclusive, you need to make them desirable enough to want to collect all the skins, but you need to also sort of make them more affordable. Like when he said collecting X amount of skins to get another skin or whatever, like for example, if you bought every single skin for Roadhog, like say there were 50 skins priced at like, I don't know, maximum of £10 when they range from like £5.99 to £10. If you collected all of them as the limited markets or whatever went by, and you collected all 50, you'd get a special sort of skin, or you get like a sort of special coded variant where every skin that you own, all 50 of those skins have a separate variant. So like maybe they had a chroma, like League of Legends, like you can get chromas for the skin so you can change the colors of it, something like that. Because when he said that, it reminded me of someone in the news, like this girl on World of Warcraft. She completed every single achievement in the game in World of Warcraft, and she had an exclusive mount for him. Like it was like part of the achievement or something, and because she completed every single achievement in the game, she had a special mount to show the devotion to the game for completing it and collecting everything in the game.
And there's a few games that have similar things to.
Yeah, and I think there's like 500 mounts. I can't remember, but it's like if you collected 500 mounts, you'd get a mount as a reward as well. And that was a recently new added thing, I think, in the new pre-patch. So if you've got 500 mounts, you're going to get another one because you've collected all the others as well. So there are paid for mounts, which range like up to like 20, 25 quid or more. But at least they've got more functionality in the actual game than a skin that you run on a character, you know?
A skin you don't even see unless you want
play
the game.
Yeah. So I do understand from a business point of view and a consumer where like these skins are like super overpriced. But then as a business model, you need to make money. And if the numbers and analytics are showing that people are paying this, then yeah, go for it. Like I would. Like if it made me money and like
but
it was.
Aren't they paying that amount? As I said, I've played a lot of games and I've yet to see a new skin. All like anything. I've not seen.
Maybe it's in competitive, or maybe it's in different game types. It could be in the Oceanic service. It could be in the North America service. It could be on different servers, you know?
I think the worst part about it is it comes across with bad rep.
Oh, it does, yeah. It comes across as money grabby and just like...
But if it was me from a business point of view, I would prefer my reputation as a company over
we're talking about Blizzard, dude. Like they've recently had another complaint filed against them of sexual abuse allegations.
That's the whole point. Like this is even more so a point of the perfect time where they need to be having people raving about them and giving them positive press. If they
like a trigger warning for this as well. Sorry to interrupt you, but there's a trigger warning for this one. But there's also been there was a 12-year-old boy that was in the news recently. Well, his mother was, because the 12-year-old son was playing Overwatch 2 or watching videos or something of Overwatch 2, and there's this custom game mode. I don't know too much about the custom game modes, but it was essentially rape simulator on there, where you'd go around as like D.Va or someone or whatever, and you did something to a female character in the game which would hit her or put her down on the floor, and then it would tell you to teabag them, to rape them, and that kind of stuff. And there's that stuff in a game by a company that has history, like an ongoing history as well, an ongoing sort of lawsuit of sexual abuse allegations. Now, it doesn't make sense for any of this shit to be going on. And I agree. Like with all the negative shit that they got going on with all the sexual abuse allegations and whatever, it would be more beneficial to them to make the skins more affordable. But if they're losing money because of sales of shit like this, and they need to make their money up, it would be like for them if they are seeing the sales. Like we don't know the analytics, but if we are seeing the sales, then and people are paying for it, then it would be wise for them to keep it up at that price.
Yeah, but then those sales could fully disappear if your company goes under the water from all the shit that it's shoveling.
Yeah, which is where the acquisition Yeah. Acquisition of Blizzard and Activision by Microsoft. That's where that comes in.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying, but at the same time, like it still leaves a sour taste in your mouth. Where
it does, yeah.
At this point, regardless of your fucking analyticals and how much fucking money you're making, at the end of the day, like you need to have a positive press. You don't get a positive press, you're screwed. You will be run into the ground eventually.
Eventually, but not yet. Look at the shit from FIFA. But how many millions of points on FIFA points that have been with the gambling.
Oh yeah, that's just the thing behind it all, and it's just ridiculous. And it's like the amount of right now, right? We're discussing all of this because the skins were released at £20. If they were released £5 a pop, or even £7.50 to £10 a pop, most people would be raving, going, "Oh my god, they've made it free to play, and they've released skins at a reasonable price." Overwatch 2 is absolutely killing it at the moment.
That would be more beneficial, yes.
It's the same as what you were effectively like. One of your first points will Fortnite, or look at Valorant. If a new game sets up and I don't know, the new game that's come out that I was excited for, Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, right, Texas Chainsaw.
That comes out, and what's game that shall not be named price for a skin? It's like $7.99 or something.
It's a bit more than that. It's about £10.
About £10.
They're between £5 and £10, depending on the quality of the skin and whether it's legendary or not.
So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, similar-ish game to what DBD is.
To what game is, sorry?
You know fine well what it is. You've already mentioned it. You fucked it. But the price of that skin is then determined by, is it the cost of the skin? Is it the fact that another game that we're rivaling with is doing it for about £10? Or do we look at the likes of Valorant, Fortnite, and Overwatch? It doesn't cost us this much, but we can charge £20, and people might actually pay for it, and we get like double the profit out. Like,
I feel it's different there.
But like your first argument was, look at Fortnite.
Do you know why?
It's market value of direct competitor.
Because Overwatch is pretty much a direct competitor to Warzone. Aaron might know this. I'm not sure if did you play Warzone a lot?
No, I played it. Well, Blackout, yes, I was a major player of Blackout. Warzone, no.
Because I know there was loot boxes as well. There was loot boxes and skins and stuff, wasn't it? Because they had COD points and stuff like that.
I think I know there was loot boxes on Black Ops 3, but as for like skins and stuff, Black Ops 4 was mainly just skins, I believe.
Right, and were they like 15-20 quid?
No. Actually, from what I remember, because do you remember the well, I assume you guys have played like zombies and stuff. Remember the bus driver from Transit?
Yeah.
I bought his skin, and I think that was like £5-6.
Okay, that's fairly reasonable then. That's not that bad, but that was during sort of like the early days of Fortnite as well. So as the popularity of those games has like sort of skyrocketed, this is how Fortnite has been able to charge that amount of money for those skins. Where Valorant then comes along. League of Legends have kind of always done it. But the League of Legends skins they can vary between like, let's say £7-8 to then like 20 quid. Depends on the legendary status of them essentially. But then as soon as like the season or like half a season is finished, they are out of rotation unless you get extremely lucky, and then you get them in like a capsule or something from like a prime capsule, or like from ranking up you get a capsule. You might get a skin that's out of commission, or like a legacy skin or something like that.
Which is exactly what this event is with Overwatch. They are only out for the event, which is another week maybe, and there is no way that anyone that's got Overwatch 2 can get that amount of credits in game without paying money to get those skins. And they can't get them again until next year.
So then they're re-releasing them at least.
Possibly next year if they decide to put them on rotation.
Yeah.
Because some of the old Halloween skins aren't.
Back to the original point though, whereas Fortnite's set the path for all of this skin, and they've been able to increase their prices gradually, especially since their deals with Marshmallow and doing the event with Marshmallow, with I think Ariana Grande as well, and like a load of other like musicians, as well as the likes of doing Marvel themed things like Avengers, Thanos, all that kind of stuff. The incredible esports community around it as well, with all the tournaments and stuff, the millions going in there. I think they've earned their way of putting the skins at that price because of the popularity of it. Again, same thing with Valorant. It's fucking extortionate the amount of prices. The fact that you have to pay like £80 for a bundle of skins that you can't really do anything with. Let's be honest. In game. And you change them anyway. As soon as you see a new skin or a new bundle, you change the skins to that anyway. So, and as big as Valorant is, like I wouldn't say they've earned the right to put it that high, but it should never be that high. It should be at least half the price. Jesus bloody Christ, it's too big. But with Overwatch, because it's a big game anyway, that I think 15 to 20 quid is the industry standard, personally.
I'd say 10 max.
Like it depends on this. It depends on the skin. Like you can get like a basic bitch skin, yeah, 10 quid. Then you can go for like a sort of like legendary animated skin or like something with a little bit of flair, and then get 15 or 20 quid for it. Because yeah, the animation does take a little bit of time. The coding for it takes a bit more time. So charging more for like an actually cool looking skin, like with some good little quirks or something, yeah, I agree that like 15, 20 quid for a free to play game, I think is good. But Overwatch is a massive game in its own right. But the reason why that it competes with things like Fortnite and Valorant is because they are that big, and they're a battle royale kind of FPS shooter game, isn't it? Let's be honest. Whereas the game that shall not be named, that's in a separate genre. It's a totally different game. It's a totally different sort of in stream of money, where it's not a huge esports organization. Right? If it became mainstream and there was a competitive side to it, and then like it became, well, it did more than like 30,000 players a month on average. If it did like 100,000 players a month or whatever, and it got that sort of skyrocketed success, then I can guarantee you that, for example, the skins for certain characters in the game, especially licensed characters, they will be a lot more than like on average £10. Like with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if they did bring out skins for Bubba or whatever other survivors or characters that they have in the game, I can pretty much guarantee that it's going to be around the same prices as the other game. Because it's in the same genre. Because you can't realistically expect a horror game that is new out and isn't like a massive mainstream sort of esports title to come out and say, well, Overwatch is doing like 20 quid skins, Fortnite are doing 15 to 20 pound skins, Valorant is doing 40 plus pounds for skins. We're going to do the same as them. We're going to put like 15 to 30 quid skins on. Nobody's going to do it. Because one, it's a brand new game anyway. Two, it's not as hyped and there's not such a massive player base. And three, it's just a total different genre.
But my whole like sort of point with that was the obviously naturally gaming is going to get more expensive as we get on with things like minimum wage and whatnot going up. Just the cost in general of being able to do certain things. So back when we were playing on say like PS3, Xbox 360 days, a brand new game would cost what, £40 ish. Nowadays we're
If we're
looking
lucky,
60, 70 for some games, like especially bigger games like the likes of Call of Duty. And then on top of that, they're expecting consumers to pay 20 quid, whatever, for cosmetic items in the game. And no way of earning them just by playing.
It's become mainstream though, hasn't it?
It has become mainstream to start charging for cosmetics instead of earning them.
Microtransactions.
Yeah.
Microtransactions, as soon as they started, like in FIFA games and stuff like that, back in early 2010s, early 20. Was it early 2010 onwards?
2010 was the first Ultimate Team, I believe.
Yeah, like when Ultimate Team came out, and then the microtransactions for FIFA points, that kind of stuff. When the microtransactions started, like, because it started, like, not so much micro DLCs, but it was like, it started with DLC, like Call of Duty maps. Like, I can understand that is, yeah, for content. Like,
to cosmetics.
Yeah, I understand that to keep the game fresh over the course of a year, you release map packs and season passes or whatever. I understand that. Don't particularly agree with it, because it's kind of like, well, we got these maps. We got 10 maps. We'll give them 5, and then we'll spread out the other 5 throughout the year just to keep it fresh, rather than pouring it as a complete game, kind of thing. It's like an unfinished thing. So
I don't mind that.
I tolerated. Yeah, I tolerated that because it did keep it fresh. But you had to pay for it. Remember, it was like 6-7 quid per.
For it isn't, like, at the end of the day, there were wages to pay. They may not necessarily cover them just from selling the game if the game's gone stale. Like, I understand that maybe it's charged for.
Exactly, that's what I mean. That's why I tolerated it.
5 maps were like what, $3.99, something like that. It wasn't that bad.
I'm not sure. It wasn't that bad. It was reasonable.
It was reasonable. But now it's getting to the point where.
So then the FIFA transactions came in with FIFA points. And then that's when the microtransaction race started. And which is what's led us to this. To like loot boxes, cosmetics, all of that kind of stuff. It's not only just DLCs now. You can get the game, and then you get the season pass for an extra 30, 40, 50 quid, or whatever it is. So you're pretty much paying double for the game. And then there's things like Destiny, where you have to pay, or is it 30 to 50 quid for every
meal.
Yeah, exactly. Every so often, like, you gotta pay for the DLC, or you gotta pay for the next season, that kind of thing. It's the same thing. Like, Destiny's been, it's keeping updated and it's doing raids and whatnot, but you're still paying the same price for a game for essentially one expansion, like. And it doesn't last that long.
It probably lasts like a season, maybe it's a bit more.
And what's that, a couple of months?
3 months. Let's
Yeah,
split
3
up
months.
the full season, 3 months maybe, if that. But you kind of were forced to pay for that content.
Yeah.
Especially later on down the line as well, because they stopped doing, like, for example, the weekly raids or whatever, or not the weekly raids, the weekly nightfalls. It got to a point where you had to be a certain light to do the lower tier nightfall, so you had to pay for expansions just to be able to do the lower tier one.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like a forced paywall kind of thing. You could argue, you could argue that World of Warcraft is like it, but I feel it's kind of different, because you do get the expansion. You have to pay for the expansion. You do have to pay the server costs and stuff like that, which is like £10 a month. Which, yes, they could make that free, and there's rumors that it's going to be free with Game Pass, but I'm not going to hold my breath, especially with what happened to Call of Duty. But like, at least with World of Warcraft, you do get patches, you do get new content. They do release new zones, new storylines, and everything throughout the year, or the year or two that is going on. So it's not as if the content's gone dry. And then on top of that, there's like, for example, when you play through it, you get to max level, you can do the dungeons. Then to gear up, you can do the dungeons and raids. And then to gear further, you can do mythic dungeons, and it goes from like just a normal mythic, and you can do the highest one you can do to get the best gear is 15, but you can go higher. So you can do like a plus 30 key, which is like insanely hard and there's progression and there's like difficulty. It ramps up in, so there's constantly something to do and grind to. There's, apart from the achievements, there's raids. So there's a normal LFR, which is like the lowest raid sort of tier you can get. Then there's normal raids, then there's heroic raids, and then there's mythic raids. And then there's all that kind of stuff. And then there's the differences between a 10-man and a 20-man raid. So like there's things you can do throughout the year. But the only difference, I think, you do pay the obviously £10 a month. Or I think it's like £52 or something if you pay every 6 months. So you're paying an extra £100 for the year, yes. But at the same time, you are still getting fresh content as well. So
Which you would be expecting to get for that kind of money.
Exactly, yeah. But it's also, you're paying for the amount of servers and stuff that are habitable for that money as well. It pays for the servers to pretty much constantly be up. They're constantly doing tweaks and stuff on a weekly basis with server maintenance and stuff like that. There's like tens of servers available, and there is a way to actually not even pay for your subscription if you earned enough money in the game, which for a lot of people it is pretty easy. But if you earn enough money, you can buy what's called a WoW token, which gives you 30 days of free playtime.
And similar to how RuneScape does it as well, then.
I'm not too sure about that, but if you say it is, I believe you. But like, for example, it depends on the server. If the server's quite populated, then there's more chance of you being able to make money, so then the WoW token is more expensive. If you're on a lower populated server and it's harder to make money because there's not many people on, well, not as many people on there, then it's more, then it's cheaper. So, for example, I could be on one server, it could be 100 grand to get a token, but then I could be on the server that I'm on now, and it's about 370,000 per token. So it depends on the server, but you can still earn the money, no problem, and then pay for it. So you don't, all you pay for is the expansion, and as long as you keep doing a few things and just repeating things, you've got basically a free game to play, and you don't have to pay the £10 subscription fee or pay for it every 6 months. So there are ways around it that they can make it free for you, but I think with the microtransactions in games, I do think they're taking it too far. As much as I know they have to make money, especially the free-to-play games, it should just be lower. Like I agree with Ryan, it should be lower so more people buy it, but I do understand from a business point of view, like I said, it's a difficult one.
In my opinion, it'd be fine to have them that high if it was easier or more obtainable to earn a currency in-game that paid for it.
Again, while I do agree with you from a business point of view and like from a sort of vanity point of view.
But it wouldn't have to be by loads. Like, I'm not saying...
What would be the most you'd pay for it? Realistically.
For a skin?
Say that skin was £15, would you pay for it? Would you even contemplate paying for it?
I'd contemplate £15, but I'd be more willing to buy it if it was closer to 10.
Right, okay, so if that skin was $19.99 rather than £20 flat, would you buy it? No. Or would you contemplate it?
If it was $19.99, no.
Because in your head it's kind of like it's like a teen. Yeah. It's teen, isn't it? So it's like 19 rather than 20.
$19.99 from £10 a big jump.
No, I know, but like, okay, so
I know what you mean, because that shops do it a lot, where they'll go out, it's £9.99 instead of it being £10.
£10, exactly, because £10 seems, so it's under a 10, it's not that bad. So it's under 20 quid. So that's what I mean. So in your head, sort of like you sort of
I tried to get
buying it.
I spent way too much money with that mindset, so I've fully trained myself to deal with that. So anything that's if it's over like the £7.50 mark, it's 20 quid. If it's, if it's over £7.50, it's a tenner. If it's over £17.50, it's 20 quid.
Right, okay, so because you said £7.50, that's why I laughed.
If it goes over like that 3/4 to the £10,
I round it up.
I just round it up, and I'm like,
yeah,
no,
same.
that's 20 quid. That's 30 quid. No.
So any female gamers out there, single mums or whatever, if you are going on a date with Randy Ryan, please, for the love of your meal, pick a meal that's under £7.50, so he doesn't think that it's that much.
Shut up, you'll have a Happy Meal and you'll like it.
You'll have a Happy Meal and Ryan will have a happy ending. So let's go.
No, you'll have a Happy Meal, you'll like it, and I'm keeping the fucking toy, alright?
They don't. That's the thing. I went to McDonald's for the first time in years the other day, and they don't actually sell. They don't actually give the toys with the Happy Meals anymore. You have to buy them separately, right?
What? I've not heard that.
I've never
I'm
heard
not
of
gonna-
it.
I'm not
Well,
gonna
you
lie.
can buy the toys separately if you want to, but they come with a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
The motherfuckers lied to me then. Not that I was going for a Happy Meal, but
I don't know,
like
maybe it's Welsh are built different, but I'd sure as shit out how that works in England.
well,
Did you
yeah,
go
that's
to
what I
McDonald's in the
thought.
Valleys by any chance?
Did I do what? Sorry.
Was it a McDonald's in the Valleys by any chance?
Well, I was in Cardiff actually. I just came back from a midnight
Ah,
session
no,
in Rampworld. It was in Cardiff, just outside of
Wait, so
Rampworld.
this was at midnight, and you didn't think that this wasn't a poor teenager working overnight trying to fuck with you?
Well, it wasn't actually me asking. Like, Queen, my wife,
Yeah.
she, not Elizabeth, obviously. No, it was because I'm not fucking royalty, am I? My name's King Crazy, but I'm clearly not fucking royalty.
Yeah, but saying obviously when she clearly isn't with us anymore, but like
Why did that
doesn't...
just only fucking clicked on me? Oh my god. It didn't register. Not gonna
Fucking
lie.
idiot.
What?
Fuck.
Fucking idiot.
I'm lying back, chilling, talking to a microphone. Leave me be. I've had a long day.
Oh, if you cock up, I'm fucking putting you
Right.
through it.
So right, so she went up there because there's a group chat for the skater. Well, there's the advanced group for the skaters, and one of the parents or something asked, if you go to McDonald's or if anyone goes to McDonald's, is there any chance that they can get these specific toys? Then she asked something or whatever. It's like the only way to get those toys is if you buy them separately because they don't come with a Happy Meal or something.
I
always thought they did.
No, I've heard of them doing specific toys that aren't tied to Happy Meals that you can buy.
Right. So it could be that then. That's where it could be then.
There are generic toys that still come with Happy.
Right. Because I think there's the Pokemon thing going on at the moment, or like a Harley Quinn or something. Because I was quite torn because I'm sure I saw like DC stuff, like Harley and the Joker or whatever, but then they had Pokemon balloons. So I was like kind of confused.
Yeah, so you'll probably find that like Pokemon might be like the separate toys, and then Harley Quinn and stuff is the Happy Meal toy, or
possibly.
vice versa.
But I just got like really confused. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't like come with the meal. It just doesn't make sense because that's what you get the meal for. Well, at least Ryan does.
No, I don't. I refuse to buy Happy Meals. They don't fill me.
I knew there was going to be a childish giggle.
Yeah.
Well, he's only a little fella, isn't he?
You keep saying this. I'm not that small.
You wait till we meet up. I've
met you several times.
No, the four of us. Like, I got a feeling that Ash is like 6'9".
I am not 6'9".
Laying down.
You missed the fucking joke.
How tall are you, Ash?
I don't know. I don't measure or weigh myself.
What do you mean you fucking don't know?
That's exactly what I mean by that. I don't.
I think he's 6 foot and 12 inches. Those are two separate
How
measurements.
tall are you, Ryan and Kev?
I'm about 6'2".
I'm 5'7" to 5'8".
Okay, so I'm the same size as Ryan.
Yeah.
Wait, fuck off. Is that with your hair up or down?
Oh, that's with hair down.
Oh, okay.
Hair up, I'm about 5'10", 5'11".
Please tell me you've measured as well.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Brilliant.
Last time I can remember, anyway.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh, I thought
My hair adds about
I thought you was tired.
3-4 inches.
No.
Fuck, I'm gonna grow my pubes out then if it gives you that amount of inches.
No, growing them takes inches away, gamer, and you haven't got many inches to play with.
Well.
Yeah, I'm 5'8" with my hair down, 5'10/5'11" with my hair up.
So there we go, right? So shut your mouth.
So it's two little fellas sitting in the call. So, Ash, roughly how tall? Do you know how tall your dad is?
No, I don't.
What do you mean you don't know how tall you are? How can you not know how tall you are?
To be fair,
I've never measured.
To be fair, until I got repeatedly asked by people, I didn't measure myself until
but,
like
Thank you.
a couple months ago.
You know roughly how tall.
No,
Like,
I
you
really
know
don't.
if you're close to 6 foot, if you're over or under, or
Well, I was 6 foot in like year 9.
Tell you what, Ryan, I'll give you this. An 8-foot 2x2 fence post is taller than me.
I'd be
Is that
fucking
it?
shocked if it wasn't.
Just calling you Tyson Ash from now on, shall we?
Is it like double your height though, or
It is not double my height, no.
right? So
you
no,
reach the
so
top
you're
of it?
over 4 foot and under 8 foot. So we're getting somewhere.
Can you reach the top of when it's stood up straight, when it's upright?
The 8
can
foot,
you,
yes.
you
Easily.
can easily. So I'd say you're just from
I'm
that
probably around 6 or 7. I don't know.
6'7".
6 or 7.
I said 6 or 7. I don't know.
Or 6 or 7
6 or
foot.
7.
You're around 6 or 7 foot.
I don't fucking know. What part of I don't know?
Being a
Don't you think?
caveman. Being a caveman, is that 6 or 7 foot with you hunched over, or?
I'm about to knock a few inches off you with a fucking club in a minute.
Oh, Daddy, do you promise? You're threatening me with a good time right now. But no, I'd 6 foot, or 6 or 7 foot. There's a fucking 12 inches difference between.
Like I've said several fucking times, I don't fucking know.
Oh, you getting mad? But I'd quite happily say you're at least 6 foot then from that.
Sure, with that.
You're so funny. I love you, Ash. I look up to you, Ash.
What the
All 6 or 7 foot of you.
Sure, fucking chin you.
Tell me,
Oh,
Ash, can you reach the top shelf in a supermarket?
Yes.
Okay,
you-
about 6.
You're definitely taller than me in Links.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Well,
Link-
I can jump, so that's fine.
I
To
don't
reach the
think
top.
Ash considered jumping.
I don't have to jump.
He's probably 8 or 9 foot if he jumps.
It's a hard life trailing that around.
Oh, that's
Never met someone who doesn't know how tall they are.
I
So,
know,
I've never-
I don't
Have
even
you
know
never
how-
had like doctors' medicals where
No.
they just
Stick the finger
No?
up the bum.
what?
I did BMI back in like secondary school, but fucked if I remember. Because I didn't even go up
My
to
BMI was between 20 and 40.
No, I was the awkward kid that didn't want to get up, so I just had a 30-centimeter ruler, just putting it like further and further down my body and got a rough estimate. Just because I didn't want to get up.
I'm 13 or 14 rulers worth of height.
But no, I've never been interested in my weight or height is.
Right, so that's another thing to add to the backpack for when we do the IRL podcast. I'm bringing a tape
Yeah.
measure.
I'm
Uh-huh.
looking forward to being nowhere near 6 foot. Because I don't have
Dude,
a clue.
I'd love to
you say
turn up
6
and
or
someone's been.
7 foot and you're like 5 foot tall.
I waited to turn up now and he's like 4'7" and everyone's been telling him they're 8 foot fence posts when they're actually 3 foot.
The 8 foot fence post. I'm not fine with the 8 foot fence post. Damn.
You just said 6 or 7 foot. So if you can't tell 12 inches difference between yourself, how are you supposed to tell 8 foot on a fence post?
Because funny enough, when I go into the woods yard or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and I ask for an 8 foot fence post, they give me an 8 foot fence post.
How do you know though if you
When
didn't
you-
measure it?
When you walk through an average door, do you need to duck?
Because the 6 foot fence boards that go on fit when it's 2 foot in the ground.
Well, you could just dig a 3 foot hole, and then it'd still fit.
I don't
Tell
have
me
the
I'm wrong.
time nor the crayons to explain this to you.
Sorry, Mr. Caveman, just etch it on the wall like a real caveman.
I will.
I love you.
Going back
You're-
to the
you're
point we
great.
were making ages ago, with the cost of things, you were saying 20 quid or something.
Yeah, so like people like to put like 99 on things, just put it a penny cheaper, just to sort of like trick your brain into thinking, oh, it's not that much.
So this would be my limit, going off of the logic of exclusivity and wanting to keep it at 20. We have a week left, I think, so maybe it's a fortnight, if that, to earn the skin, which we can't earn in game. If I can earn £10 worth during that fortnight, and then pay £10 on top of that to get the skin, that's acceptable.
Yeah, the way they have appeared to do it is that they've made it impossible to
Yes,
grind.
you have to pay for it.
I don't feel that is fair. I genuinely don't feel as if you can't play it at.
If in 2 weeks of just casual gameplay, or even like
I
sweaty
don't think it should be
gameplay, you
casual.
can't earn half of the cost of a skin.
I think for casual players they'd need to grind a little. Like it would for me it would need to feel like a grind or
2 weeks isn't a grind for you.
No,
More?
I mean like at a decent pace. I like say for example as a casual player I played 3 hours a day. But then with this I'd need to play like 4 or 5, or in your case 6 or 7. Then I think that would be enough of a grind to feel as if it'd be worth it, rather than like even sweaty players that play it daily for like 8 hours, they are struggling to get it. Like the sweaty players should be able to get it within a week, like I feel. But the more casual players, it should feel like an accomplishment to get it.
You
But
should be
still
able to
attainable.
You should be able to sweat grind enough for one
Yeah.
over that 2.
It's kind of like what Aaron would have probably done back in the day with Call of Duty. He'd want to like get prestige. Like
Oh yeah,
sort of
the
like
prestige
grind it.
racing was always the fun.
Exactly, yeah. You'd want to race it. It wouldn't take too long. Like the first prestige would always be the hardest because you're like, right, what guns work, blah blah blah, and then you'd kind of get into a rhythm of what gun. Or like what I used to do was I would go through pistols and I would do the challenges, the headshots, because the more challenges you got done, the more experience you got. And then I just rip through all of the guns, because you get more experience. But like when you do the race to prestige or to max prestige, like Aaron could do that because I wouldn't say that he's like a super sort of sweaty player, but he's a casual player that likes the challenge and wants to just do that grind and get it done quick as possible. He's
Well,
not going to be.
I remember when Modern Warfare 3 came out, I did 7 prestiges in 4 days.
It's fucking crazy.
That was the worst it ever got.
But that's like obsessive though, isn't it? But then you get the professional players or the people that would do it for content or stream it or whatever. They would probably have done it much faster than you. Like I'm not putting like anything down on you. I'm just saying because they're doing it, they're methodical about it. They'd probably have had it done. But you was probably not that far behind them. But what I mean is the grind that you made, you thought that was significant enough to get those procedures done, and you'd feel a sense of accomplishment of getting it done that fast. It's the same thing as the Overwatch stuff. You should be able to, as a casual player, just put your mindset into it. Right, I'm going to grind this game for the next 2 weeks and I'm going to get that skin. If that skin is unattainable after grinding it as a casual player, then there's something wrong with the system. Like Ash said, if as a sweaty player you struggle to get it when you play 8 hours a day after 2 weeks, there is a problem with the system.
Well, to be fair, back in Modern Warfare 3, the methodical way was money in the dank. That was the best way to pretty much grind, because it would just give you a freaking juggernaut suit, and then you get Moab after Moab after Moab after Moab. Therefore, just piling on the XP.
Yeah. But like,
money in the dank was sick.
I remember when they brought up Ground War as well. That was hectic. That was only available on like next gen systems, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Or PC or something. Ground War is when you could have lobbies of 18 rather than 9, so whatever it was, 10. I don't know. You had double the size lobbies.
Probably. I never played Ground War.
I only played it because it was like double experience on those sort of game types.
Ground War was the 18 players, right?
Yeah, so like that's what I just said.
I'm trying to find out what height I am for my girlfriend. Thank you very much.
So you find out for your girlfriend, but you don't find you
from my girlfriend.
Wait, why does your girlfriend know how tall you are?
Because she maybe know how tall she is, and I can figure it out there.
So how tall are you compared to your girlfriend?
She doesn't know either.
Who's taller, you or Chloe?
Me.
By how much? From your
See,
nose
now
up?
you're asking for a measurement again, and I
No,
don't
no,
know.
no. Just from eyeballing. Can she does the top of her head reach as far as your nose? Is it underneath your chin?
I can kiss her forehead without crouching down.
Well, is that by you bending your neck down?
No.
Or by...
So she's around your head height then.
So I'd
She's
say
around nose height-ish.
from an average female, I'd like to say they're about 5'6" to 5'8".
So no taller than 6 foot.
I would have
there's
said
average.
average females 5'4" to 5'6".
Well, my wife and daughter's pretty much the same height as Yes Crew.
Yeah.
And if Ryan thinks he's 5'7", 5'6".
Well, it sounded like I'm around the same height as maybe Aaron and Ryan.
So why am I the fucking only tall one then?
Because you're
6
Welsh, and apparently your average female height's higher than us
wait,
as well.
my guy, seriously? You're in a call with 2 other Welsh people. You are the only English one here.
But no, as I say, I don't know.
They are Welsh. They should be taller by your
Just
logic.
If
I am taller. It's just I need my hair up.
It's just my hair's not had as Viagra.
Just if we are right about Ash's height roughly, then you are the odd one out.
Yeah. Fuck.
So
I have to get kneecapped before I come, and I.
go fuck yourself.
I'll
it's
uppercut
fine,
you in the nuts. It's fine.
That's fine. You do not know how much I'll enjoy that.
She's just messaged me saying, all I know is you can use me as a headrest, and I'm 5'4".
Wait, she's 5 foot.
5'4", I said.
Five-
I don't know
oh,
how
she's
far
5'4".
off I is.
Yeah, so Ash is
You're like
probably
you're the
around
smallest.
Around the same
No.
height as Ryan.
No, he's about my height. Right, he's about mine
Yeah.
and Lynx's height. We're about the same height, the three of us.
So yes, you're the odd one out. Which brings me back to another point. You have to jump to reach the top of the shelf.
Depends.
Wait, you could reach the top of an 8-foot
Yeah.
pole? Are you sure it's 8 foot?
Yes.
You should-
Ash
you should-
caveman.
you-
Ash have long arms.
I do
Okay,
also wear
we need more
boots.
math here. What's the average length of an arm?
That's a good question.
So if you put your arms out straight, like Jesus did on the cross, allegedly, if you measure from fingertip to fingertip with your arms stretched, that is the entire length of your body.
How does that work for people that just have longer legs naturally? Because my brother has very lanky legs.
Well, they might have a short torso.
But that doesn't, his arms don't touch his knees.
My arms don't touch my knees. Well,
I
unless I'm
just
sat
don't
down.
think that's how that works.
I'm so confused.
Well, you've got the shoulder part in between as well, haven't you?
You're saying if you're doing a cartwheel, your height never changes, effectively.
Pretty much. Depends on how you do it. If you do it like a handstand, where your hands are straight up rather than sort of like out.
A
diagonally to the
cartwheel is having your limbs outstretched. If you have to bend at any point, that is not a cartwheel.
No, I didn't say bending. I was like, if you put your hands.
You could do a straight armed cartwheel. Where your arms
straight
are
arm
straight
cartwheel.
above
That's what I'm
your
trying to
head.
get at. Yeah, that's what I mean. If you put
You would
your arms
technically
straight
be
over your
taller.
head, you'd be your arms or just under your full arm's length taller. And I say just under because the amount of distance it is from the top of your head down to your shoulders.
How tall did you say you were, Kev? 2 seconds.
Oh, it's 6'2".
The length of the average human arm is 25 inches.
Right, now we're just using different measurements here.
I know, I just can't
He's
find
gone
it in
American.
feet.
For an average, if an average arm is 25 inches, it's roughly 2 foot for an arm.
That's
so
2. Yeah, that's
So
2
yes, I
foot.
can reach the top of an 8-foot post.
So
I
That means
I
you'd
would-
have to be 6 foot.
I would hazard a bet Ash is probably
Well, you said you were
around-
about 5'10", you said. That's not far off 6 foot.
I mean, it's 4
5'10"
inches.
with my hair up, fam. 5'8"
Far off
normal.
6 foot.
I'm going to say Ash is about 5'10" to 5'11".
I'd say 5'11".
This is also bearing in mind that I wear working boots, not like
That's what I say. 5'10" to
Canvas
5'11".
or
So
whatever.
you get that extra little bit from the
He's-
boots.
my
And the
guy's got
average
that
arm is
platform.
25 inches, which is 2 feet and 1 inch.
He's got platforming work boots on. He's going out in his
I have
golf
steel
boots.
toe cap just to make sure that I don't cause myself an injury, which I will be wearing when I come and see you in case I need them.
Oh, it's fine. Little guy like you, I'll just stand on you.
I'll not feel it.
Oh, I didn't say I'll stand on your toes. I'll wear high heels.
Mhm.
Oh, I want you to measure yourself and then measure your height.
With what?
You use a fucking measuring tape for work, you idiot.
Yes, let me stop doing what I'm doing at work to quickly measure myself.
You can do it when you're in your house. You just have your measuring tape in hand, put your hand flat against your head when you stood up upright against the wall, move out the way when your hand is still on the wall, and then measure the distance from the floor up. That's pretty much accurate. Give or take a centimeter or so.
It'll
for
be accurate
movement.
enough for us with all our fucking guessing that we've been doing.
Yeah. At least we'll get a foot an inch. Not a foot and a foot.
We'll all
about
be like-
6 to 7 foot.
We'll all be like Queen. We'll get an inch.
Don't fucking hold on. Well played, Ryan. That was good.
Sorry, 90% of my jokes are shit, aren't they, Kev?
Yeah, that was maybe
that was a
1 out of
fucking
100
cock.
girl. Queen's already gone to bed, so
Can that be
she's
the
not having
shot?
any inches tonight. She's
Please
not.
make up the shot that you put on.
I don't know.
That's fantastic.
She's not. Like, well, two things. One, she's not having any DPS tonight. And two, if Ryan did make that as a short and she's seen it or heard it, the next time she saw Ryan, she'd probably slap him.
You know, I'd be worth it.
Absolutely would be worth it.
It depends on the Nobrot, though. If the Nobrot situation's gone, then yes, she'll slap you.
You keep saying knob rock, but I had an infection in my mouth. Now, I don't know how much knob you've got in your mouth, but
Well, I'm not the one with a rotten mouth either, am I?
I don't know, gamer. I haven't looked.
I won't let you have to see what's inside of yours. Oh, but it's about time you clap back with something. I enjoy it when you do clap back because they're either going to be like really good or just like really shit.
It is what it is, Jim. It is what it is.
Wasn't there something that you wanted to talk about, Ryan?
We sort of touched on it a little bit with like content creation.
Yeah, you said you was going to ask something. I can't remember what it was.
Well, we went off on like 3 tangents, and it's now been going for like 2 hours and 20 minutes. So
Right, it's fine.
probably something
Well,
we can save.
someone did like fuck up the recording from disconnection or something, but we will not go back to that. So ask you a question, and we'll do our best to answer within 2 hours.
No, it's just a long. It's potentially a long discussion. There's something we can save for next time. Fine.
Well, we can brush on it now and then finish it off next time.
Brush on.
Ask
So
away.
the curiosity I've got is how people crack the whole things with algorithms. Like, so I remember watching Mr. Beast on Joe Rogan's podcast where he said he studied, and I mean literally studied YouTube for weeks to find what thumbnails attracted people, why certain videos would pick up and why they wouldn't. But like from doing TikTok videos and things like that, like it appears to be completely random these days as to what video gets picked up and ran with views compared to other clips that may be better or funnier clips that just don't seem to get the same amount.
Quick answer, I think you're right. As in, back in the day, it kind of used to have an algorithm. But these days, I think there isn't an algorithm, and it is completely luck of the draw, because quite simply, there's so many people doing the same thumbnails, doing the same clickbait, doing the same... It's basically there is no original ideas anymore. Like, how many Mr. Beast copycats have you seen? But on a much, much, much lower scale. Like, the last one to leave gets $1,000 compared to, like, Mr. Beast, last one to leave gets $1 million, or gets a Ferrari, or gets a Bugatti, or whatever. Like, there's so many people doing that. Short form content is more algorithm based to a degree if there is an algorithm. But again, it's more luck of the draw and random. It's based by cookies and all small data, and then all the metadata in the videos, then it gets compiled and it might get shown, it might not.
I would hazard a bet that there's more to the algorithms than what we realize. Even
Maybe
if it's
not anymore.
even if it's down to what's tagged and posted at what time. Like if you tag certain things at
That's
certain
true.
times and post it at certain times, does that somehow trigger it to be better than what it would have been if you
Yes,
posted it even
100%.
half an hour later?
100%. Because, for example, if I've got a primarily US audience and I put my videos up at 10 o'clock in the morning, then my UK audience is going to see it at 10 o'clock. But at the time of me posting it, where 90% of my audience is American, they're most likely going to be sleeping. And the amount of content in between them sleeping and them waking up could be drastic and could be massive. So then my content gets buried with all of that content that's come after mine. So if I've got, like, if you need to know your audience and know the analytics when to post, and analyzing your own analytics to see when you get the influx of viewership, that's when you need to figure out where, when, and what time you need to post.
But given that, like, don't you think that sites like
That's not
TikTok
algorithm based, by the way.
It sort of is.
It's not. It's analytically based. That's based on data that you know you can use to manipulate to your advantage.
Yeah,
If
but
I know
yeah, like,
posting a video at 3 p.m. UK time would blow up better than posting it at 10 a.m., I'm going to do it because that's the data that I can see, and that's when the influx of viewers I can see.
But that's still partly algorithm, because the algorithm pushes your video in a certain way that you know that posting at that specific time would proc the algorithm to work in your favor more. Because the algorithm still pushes it to the same people, but posting it at a different time will push it to those people at the correct time rather than at a more inconvenient time.
Which you are manipulating the time. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but that's what, you're still using that algorithm. If that makes sense. That algorithm is still there, but knowing how the algorithm works, when it's going to push your video and when you're going to post it.
I know what Aaron's laughing at.
No, not me. I have no idea. So if you, it's the YouTube algorithm of what people think it is like the trending page, all that kind of stuff, like making something go viral. That's not how it works. Like if you post your video at a specific time, you're not controlling the algorithm. You're, in a sense, making that non-existent algorithm work for you because of the data that you've analyzed from your own analytics. Like, for example, Aaron could post a video at 12 o'clock and it could do phenomenal. I could post this, like, an identical video at the same time, and it would do shit because my audience is in a different time zone. That's got nothing to do with the algorithm. It's to do with your audience. Now, if we had no audience at all, I posted my video, I posted a TikTok, for example, at midnight. Aaron posted it at midday, and Aaron's blew up and mine didn't. Then that would be more than likely an algorithmic based, I don't know if that's a word, based sort of, that would be more towards that. It'd be more towards the algorithm.
But given the
because we both got 0 fans.
But given the difference in audience with that, wouldn't it be more beneficial to have better access to that information?
Yeah, but at the same time, if we all had access to that information, then everybody would be successful, and then there would be no algorithm. Then we all have access to our own analytics.
No, but that's like to the analytics. Like, can you go onto TikTok and find how many of your views on a video have come from America and how many have come from the UK? Because I've never seen that.
I can on mine. Because I've put my TikTok account as a business account, so I can see the analytics.
Yeah, I can see my analytics.
I'm not sure if you can do it on a normal account. I'm assuming you can, unless you've put yours to a business account.
I'm not sure. I've never looked.
So. But like when I've posted a video, it says like before, I don't even have to go on a separate dashboard. It actually says analytics when you click on your own video, and you can see the analytics. It's the same as YouTube. Like you can see on YouTube how your videos perform. It's the same on Twitch. You can see where your viewers come from. You can even see what other users on Twitch you share your viewership with, and a certain percentage of that. It shows you where your subs come from on Twitch, whether gifted or purchased. Like it's all to do with the analytics. It's like when I was streaming twice a day for 8+ hours, it was like I noticed then a decrease in, even though primarily I was streaming in the evening and I used to get great viewership. When I used to stream twice in one day, because I wanted to see if it would be better for me to stream twice or if it would be better in the morning or stay in the evening, I found that analytically and from a numbers perspective, I did better in the daytime after a while, because like the viewership in the evening started to fall off because people were either busy or they were playing games themselves or whatever, so they didn't have the time. But because of it, because of like them having more free time or working from home or whatever, because it was during lockdown, people found that they wanted to watch or listen or whatever and put me on background more in the morning or the daytime than they would in the evening, because they wanted to just chill themselves or they had stuff to do. Or, like I said, they play themselves. So from an analytics point of view, it's not so much manipulating the now what I think non-existent algorithm. Back 10 years ago, yes, there was most definitely an algorithm, because you didn't really have all of this clickbaity stuff. And what Mr. Beast, going back to your first point of subject, he had this kind of niche where he did something that nobody else did. He had these like extravagant ideas, like I said, first one to take their finger off the car, or last one to have their finger on the car wins the car. There's crazy things like that, and just from a title perspective, you'd click on it. But then they had this outlandish thumbnail where you see everywhere these days, with like a car and a big red circle and then a big red arrow pointing to said circle. And that kind of thumbnail generated more views than a generic one with just text and an image on there. So theoretically, yes, back in the day when he did that data, like he basically analyzed other people's videos. He conducted his own analytical study upon videos doing good and doing bad on YouTube.
Yeah.
So he then used that data to manipulate his own sort of audience and to get his videos pushed up there, which gave him that platform then to grow and grow and grow. And then, like he said, he used all of the profits from every single video to make the next video, and which enabled him to do more and more outlandish things. Like he bought an island, for fuck's sake.
Not only that as well, but he played the system. He made several accounts under different languages just to re-upload the same video just in another
recently
language.
Yeah, he's been recently doing that. That's fantastic. A lot more content creators should be doing that. A lot more.
Like genius, and he even operates it. He even operates it as a business in his own now as well. So he runs it as a translation business.
Yeah, and he pays people to do it for him, and this is a fantastic fucking business model. Like if you combined all of his channels, he would be the most subscribed channel on YouTube,
easily,
by far. Because he's got like Mr. Beast Brazil, Mr. Beast Germany, whatever, and it's all dubbed and whatever, and it's just absolutely fantastic. What he's done is single-handedly the most fucking big brain idea I've ever seen from anyone. Like, it's just insane. And he's what, 28-ish?
Yeah, I think
like
so. He's quite young.
Yeah. He's 24. I was going to say 24, but I thought he was more KSI's age for some reason. But he's 24 years old. And to be that sort of business savvy, like, and what those channels have been going for years, right? The multilingual ones, like maybe 2 years, maybe a bit longer. I'm not too sure.
That was my curiosity behind it. Was obviously he took a lot of time and a lot of effort to figure out his niche and how to make things work in his favor. And I would believe there is a way to not to be the next Mr. Beast, but to be that to find that next niche. But it's difficult. It's very difficult.
The
but
reason
if
why
you
it's
could be the
difficult,
one to find it, then
you'll be laughing.
it could be the making of you.
Exactly. Like if you go on YouTube, you type in the game that shall not be named. Have a look how many like thumbnails are pretty much identical to each other.
Oh yeah.
You
That's what I
type in
mean.
Call
Like
of Duty.
now, if you type in that game, if you were to come across a video with a fair amount of views with a completely different thumbnail that's stuck up in a completely different way, that could be the video that takes off. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, everyone's looking at your channel, looking at your videos because of your particular style of thumbnail. And I'd like to think that there's a way of getting to that.
There's a way of getting to that point. It depends on what you do. But for example, if you want to do it from that game, then you need to, like, for example, if there's an event,
I don't know why you're still not saying the game name.
you say it.
You've already lost.
Yeah, you definitely
I
You lost earlier.
I said the game name is in Cross. I didn't actually discuss the game. But if you
No,
pick
the
any
whole
game,
Listen,
challenge was not to mention the game or.
well, I didn't
Yeah.
understand the rules. I'm Welsh.
The three short.
Bullshit.
Oh no! Your only thing that outstands from ourselves now is that you're tall. Because there's three Welsh
Okay.
people in the call, so you can't use the Welsh excuse.
Okay. It's because I'm too high up. I couldn't hear you properly.
You're just dumb.
Okay, so you take any game. There's an event for Overwatch, for example. If you make a video on how to maximize your gains to get that £20 skin, then you need to make that faster than anyone else, get it uploaded. So before anyone else finds out that trick, you were the first one to see it. Then you blow up from that, and then not so much blow up, but you get a lot of traction from that. And then you plug your other videos or your other guides or anything like that in your video and in the description and in the cards. That's how to try and like keep the audience retention. But you got to do it in a way that you're first on the thing. Even if it's going to be a highly saturated thing, you need to be that first person just to get the first eyes on it. It's kind of like, you know, when people like
It's
back in the
why
day, Ali A used to get invited to COD events. He'd be the first person on it, streaming COD events and getting all these bloody gun ratings and whatever, and spewing a load of shit about the guns.
And then
if
he
knew
sold out.
something. Exactly. And then he sold it. But you know what I mean? Like he spoke so much shit about the guns, and he ruined, like, not just him, like the way that it's, oh, this gun's this gun's that. He doesn't know anything about guns. For starters, he's English. We don't have prevalent guns, like sort of guns and gun crime and whatever isn't prevalent over here. Yes, it's kind of it's not so much of a dig at America because like guns are more prevalent over there, but we're not used to guns. So how the
No,
hell
you
does
see
he
my
know how a
BB
gun
gun, mate.
works? Next joke.
Hmm.
Enough of the dick jokes, Ryan. So we're not used to guns. If he was an American saying it and he had a wall of guns behind him, yeah, fair enough. Like he'd know more than Ali A. But some little nerd sat behind a computer screen getting shat on by somebody using a PP90, and then he's saying, oh, that gun should be nerfed. Like, no, it's a load of bollocks. It's just because he can't get good content because somebody better than him with a submachine gun can outgun him from close range when he's using an ACR or something. No, stop, please. And then you need to get on things early. This is how to get ahead of it. And the best way to do it these days, sort of analytically or algorithmically speaking, is shorts, short form content, because there's a lot of because of TikTok and shorts and reels, there's a lot more people with ADHD tendencies. People haven't got a high attention span, so the 10-minute videos that would normally work don't work anymore. So you need a short 10 to 30 second clip, or even up to a minute if you're very lucky, depending on the video. You need short form content to get pretty much straight to the point, tell you how to do something, give an example, and then you're done. And then if people find that, it'll blow up, and then you'll get more traction. Then you divert them to YouTube, you divert them to your Twitch, you divert them to your other platforms. That's how you gain traction. Because the biggest thing these days is TikTok and short form content. Well, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and small short form content. That's the biggest thing that you can utilize these days, in my opinion. it could be spouting shit, but the amount of people that are getting famous because, or like getting bigger because I saw you on Hover, or I saw you on TikTok, or I saw you on YouTube Shorts. I know Hover's like pretty much dead now because I don't hear about it anymore. But you know what I mean? Like that was all the rage. Like when it first came out, it was like, oh, it's like a TikTok or YouTube Shorts for like gamers, and they do this. Yeah, it's a gamer sort of TikTok.
Everything's
and, you know
for gamers these days. Even dating apps are releasing it like it's a dating app for gamers.
To be fair, I kind
I've
of
seen that one advertised, to be honest.
I
It
kind of
turns
agree
out
with
I
that.
have.
no, it was a dating app for gamers, but in a sense of if you're a lonely gamer and you need someone to like join your squad, you could.
Oh, I've
Isn't
seen
that
both
just what
types.
LFGs are, though?
Yeah,
Exactly. I mean,
you could.
know.
It was a bit like Tinder, so you could put on your profile, "I play Dead by Daylight and Call of Duty," and then people who play Dead by Daylight and Call of Duty. You said it ages ago, gamer. You lost. Give up. Game over.
Shut up, little man.
Jesus
Put your BB gun
Christ.
away. Smell it from here.
Honestly, same joke, different day with you, isn't it? Jesus
It's not. I didn't
Christ.
say I could smell it before. But
You've definitely had several times.
Clip it.
But yeah, that was the whole thing of it was like, like I play Dead by Daylight. I want people to join up with my squad. I need people to play Survivor with me. And you could swipe right on other survivors to make friends with them and stuff like that.
No, I don't trust that, fam.
No,
Nah.
swipe right on single survivors near you.
Just join the LFG Discord. It's so much less hassle.
Just
Or
talk to
Facebook.
people, make friends.
All that.
But yeah, it's just, I think it's just daft, really.
It is. I don't like that.
Speaking of, I just got my skin for Overwatch.
You actually?
Oh, nice.
The Winston
one that
skin.
he has to sit 4 hours stream for.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that one.
I was gonna say, I thought, but during the whole argument of us talking about it being ridiculously overpriced, you've just gone and fucking
Yo, free is free, my dude.
Same content creator, or did you decide to someone else?
No, same one. Leah started playing Red Dead Redemption 2 now. She plays RP, but Red Dead RP is pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's just
like-
about it for today then, isn't it?
To sum it up, there is no algorithm these days. It's a lot of luck, and it's basically posting at the right time with the right content. It's just more the content and the time. It's nothing to do with algorithm. If someone's like, for example, if there's a League of Legends or an Overwatch thing, and there's a cheap way or a trick to get the skins fast, you need to get on that content ASAP. Be the
Or
first person
someone-
to post it. The best way to do it is in short form, and then you can be like, follow my YouTube for more. And then you can post a longer version on YouTube as well as YouTube Shorts. Just utilize every single form of content creation you can. Even Snapchat stories. You can make a public Snapchat account, and you can post like a reel or whatever it is on there for people to subscribe to. It's everywhere. As long as if you can be the first person to post it, and they can start getting traction before anyone can copy, you'll be fine.
Can I just say that is one of my biggest bugbears of TikTok? Follow for part 2. If it's not on the original video, I am going to the next video. Fuck you and your part 2.
Honestly, the only videos that I go for part 2 are the ones like which are TV series or films, and they actually can't.
No, I will not. I will sooner go and find the TV series and watch the whole episode.
But like, it's
Before I go
pretty
to
much
part
fine.
2.
They've got a playlist for it now, or there's like, if you go to the profile, it says just
No,
watched. So
No. Just out of pure and just
This
pure
is coming-
pettiness at this point. No.
this
no
is coming
part
from
2.
the guy in mind that told me to upload my video from the Hag to TikTok and say, like, because he edited it to like 2 minutes or something. As a YouTube show is like only 60 seconds long. He said, "Oh, just do this for
Right. Well,
part 2."
But will that video, will it not completely fit on a single TikTok?
On a TikTok, yes. On a YouTube short, no.
Right. Well, I made it for TikTok. So
He says now.
fuck you.
Oh, Modern Warfare is now playable. What?
And on that
Is
note, ladies
it?
and gentlemen,
Is it
Yeah.
really?
Well, it just said it just started an update and then it instantly.
Don't turn me on.
It's
It
midnight.
is. It is literally midnight.
Well,
so-
it's 2 minutes to midnight.
It's one.
OMG.
Kev can.
Well, as I was singing that, it did say 59. So,
Sure.
yo, I've noticed though that my two PCs, my streaming PC is a minute behind, and my gaming one is a minute in front, and it's both synchronized by Microsoft Clock.
Now it's midnight.
All right, we get it.
It's
You've got
it's,
the
it's
PC.
not for me.
It is for
Well,
me.
I got 4, so fuck you.
Now it's midnight.
If you want me to flex, it still
Midnight.
hasn't changed for me. On my phone, it says midnight.
I've launched it.
And on that note, gamers, bye bye.
Boy.
Later.